Lancescurv show. Today we're going to get into it. We're going to talk. We're going to get deep. And it's funny how the planets line up and a topic can resurface again. The topic of interracial dating, relationships, but not just that, but the power play involved in it. Because it's not just a simple slice. There's so many different angles behind it. Like, say, for example, you have the white woman's side. What are her intentions? Who is she? What's her upbringing? What is her psyche like when she's with a black man? Did she go after the black man? Did she end up just with him and not see color, like so many people say? The black man. Is he a person that was like a black man who was raised in the state of Maine? They say it's the whitest, the whitest state in the country, and he never was around a sister, so he had a natural inclination. Well, yeah, unnatural. He just didn't get a chance to see the real thing. So he's with a Becky, and how does she see him? Does she see him as a tool? Right? There's so many questions. Welcome on in, Chrissy. Yes. Oh, you're here on time. Greetings and blessings, Brother Lance. Peace and light. Greetings and blessings to you, Sister Chrissy. We're going to get down. We ain't never lie. So when you have a place like America, we're going to pick America. We know it's the UK also, and wherever these people, wherever you people are, many of us have to dance to the beat of your drummer because you're the ones in control. But how does that play out? So there's so many different ways of looking at things, and I just feel so like I'm prophetic today. No, we all could see it. Shannon Sharp, the whole thing with him. Then the movie Sinners comes out, and we all know what that means with these vampire people. Even white folks can see it. And then I saw a video, was it on Instagram or TikTok, whatever, and this is what kind of stoked my imagination to do this show. We had the newspaper in the wood, which was Sinners. We had the Good Winds, which is the Shannon Sharp thing. But this was the flame that lit everything up for me. I said, man, we got to talk about this. So check this one out. Check this out right here. And this was from Dr. Umar Johnson's page. Okay. So I'm not sure if he had anything to do with this, but this is something that he put it on his page. He doesn't put anything on his page that someone else made that he doesn't condone unless he has a point to make. So I'm kind of saying this had his approval. Okay, here we go.
That was excellent.
You like a little fad, but it was cool.
My girl really dancing. Why would you do that?
You heard her?
You can hear me. She can't.
Okay.
Your ancestors are here.
Crazy shit.
Comb.
What the fuck?
What?
Comb.
You want to watch one of my favorites?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Oh, you cut that off?
It's a classic.
What the fuck? That's what I did.
You can watch Genealogy dancing.
So you want to watch the playoffs?
Yeah, it's playoff season.
All right.
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
Come back.
You got to tell me what's going on.
Let's just go. Let's just go. We good. Everything good. They come.
Who's they?
They come.
What are you talking
I
about?
got them. We gotta go.
I thought we were having a double sleepover.
What the fuck?
Wait, I love you.
Yes.
Nancy?
Leave.
I want to leave.
You gotta get away.
I'll do anything.
Come on, Nancy.
Leave.
Yes.
I'll adapt. You can move anywhere you want.
That's my game.
What the fuck? Wait, I love you.
Yes.
Nancy?
Leave.
I want to leave.
You gotta get away.
I'll do anything.
Come on, Nancy.
Leave.
Yes.
I'll adapt. You can move anywhere you want.
That's my game.
That was excellent.
Crazy. You like a little fast, but it was cool.
My girl really dancing.
Agreed.
Why would you do that?
You heard her?
You can hear me. She can't.
Okay.
Your ancestors are here.
Crazy shit.
Comb.
What the fuck?
What?
Comb.
You want to watch one of my favorites?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Oh, you cut that off?
It's a classic.
What the fuck? That's what I did.
You can watch your dancing.
So you want to watch the playoffs?
Yeah, it's playoff season.
Okay.
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
Come back.
You got to tell me what's going on.
Let's just go. Let's just go. We good. Everything's good. They come.
Who's they?
They come.
What are you talking
I
about?
got them. We gotta go.
I thought we were having a double sleepover. What the fuck? Wait, I love you.
Yes.
Bessie?
Leave.
I want to leave.
You gotta get away.
I'll do anything.
Come on, Bessie.
Leave.
Yes.
I'll adapt. You can move anywhere you want.
That's my game.
Got to put the button back on, right? I had myself muted. No, but he's gone. He's out of there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Believable, though. That should happen to all of them who are doing this. They should hear the voices. That's right. Stay Chrissy. Black Queens forever. Snow Bunnies never. Dr. Umar Johnson. Umar, I hope you're living by that for real, though. Okay? All right? All right? I hope you're living by that. Now, I'm going to read off something to set the tone even more so. I have a few more clips that I want to play. But before I let me play. I'm like the garbage collector. I started picking up clips. I'm like, hey, let me put this one up. Check this out.
How are you today? I'm fine. Love you, princess. Will you never leave my side, love? Hello, princess. How are you today? I'm fine. Love you, princess. Will you never leave my side, love?
Looks like a breath stink. Anyway, not stink, but stank with the A in the middle of it, right? Okay, I'll put this banner up so people come in can see what the title of the show is. I just want to read something off that I wrote down to set the tone. We're going to come back with some more clips, and we're going to discuss this in depth. Let me just see everything okay is good. The sound is good. The sound if it goes out any kind of funny way, just let me know. I'm going to come back in here. And Wise Man. Yes, Wise Man. And we're good. Yes, Wise Man. I'm going to speak on those things too. I'm not going to put anybody down. I'm going to speak on that too. A couple little things I noticed. I'm not here to put any brother down, but we have to talk about it. You know, we can't be in denial about certain things anymore. So I'm going to be very raw today and just tell it like it is. We saw a video on Instagram that made us laugh. A black man running from his white girlfriend after hearing the voices of Malcolm X and other ancestors warning him. It was shared by Dr. Umar Johnson, the same man who calls white women Snow Bunny. Funny on the surface, yes. But under the jokes, there's a real message about how deep this issue goes. Let's go back. During slavery, the white woman was the forbidden fruit. Black men were murdered, whipped, and hung just for looking at a white woman the wrong way. But in the slave master's mind, the white woman was seen as the prize, pure, delicate, powerful. The black man was conditioned generation after generation to see her as something above him. That conditioning didn't die when slavery ended. It just changed its clothes. Today, Even when a black man thinks he's resisting the white woman's pull, he's often still caught in the trap. Now listen to this, people. The mind works in layers. About 90% of our thinking is subconscious. Only 10% is conscious. When a black man runs away from the white woman and puts on a dashiki, like in the video, he's still giving her power. He's saying she's so tempting, so dangerous, that he has to fight for his life just to stay away. That's still putting her above the black woman. See? When you fight something too hard, you're actually worshiping it. It's like a commercial for ice cream. If you show people a big, juicy ice cream cone and yell out, "Don't eat this, stay away," what happens? You know what happens. People will think about the ice cream even more. They'll crave it. The same thing here. Telling black men, run from the snow bunny. He's going to get you. Just makes her seem even more powerful and desirable. It's backward psychology, and it's working against us. We should not have to make loving a black woman seem exotic or a rare event. Black women are not supposed to be seen as special or different. Mind you, let me, when I say special or different, I mean it this way. They should be the standard, the norm, the everyday beauty. So I'm going to say this sentence again. I'm not saying they shouldn't be looked at as special. They are special. But understand the context in which I said that. Black women are not supposed to be seen as special or different. They should be the standard, the norm, the everyday beauty. Instead, too many black men act like loving a black woman is some political statement, while chasing white women is normal life. That's backwards. That's backwards. That's backwards. And it shows how deep the mental programming goes. Movies, TV shows, magazines. I'm going to say it again. Movies, TV shows, magazines. They have been pushing the image of the white woman as the top prize for centuries. The white woman was always the trophy the hero got at the end of the story. Meanwhile, black women were either not shown at all or shown as loud, ugly, bitter, and undesirable. I'm going to say that again. Black women were either not shown at all or shown as loud, ugly, bitter, or undesirable. If you feed a community enough images like that, generation after generation, you poison their desires. See, Dr. Umar had good intentions, but it was a bad message. Dr. Umar Johnson wants to protect black love. He wants black men to stop chasing snow bunnies. But when he makes the white woman seem like some supernatural trap, some unbeatable force, he's actually making her even bigger in the black man's mind. Hopefully not. You can't fight white supremacy by putting it on a pedestal. You can't build black pride by making the white woman the ultimate temptation. If we want black love to survive, we have to make it normal again. No more acting like dating a black woman is an act of rebellion. No more treating the white woman like she's the final boss in a video game that we have to resist. Just love black women loudly, proudly, and naturally. No slogans needed. No marches needed. Normalize it until it's boring, until it's just the way it is. We have to set our own standard for beauty, love, and life. Black women are not second place. They are not the consolation prize. They are the beginning and the end. Until Black men feel that deep in their bones, without needing a dashiki, a Malcolm X voice, or a skit on Instagram, we will keep giving away our power. It's time to take it back. It's time to take it back. So that being said, just to get it deep into your mind, I want to play that one over again. And what I want to do, we'll move on to another angle of this. Let's bring it back to the beginning here. All right, here we go.
That was excellent.
Crazy. You like it a little fast, but it was cool.
My girl really dancing.
Agreed.
Why would you do that?
You heard her?
You can hear me. She can't.
Okay.
Your ancestors are here.
Crazy shit.
Comb.
What the fuck?
What?
Comb.
You want to watch one of my favorites?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Oh, you cut that off!
It's a classic.
That's a classic. Hey,
You gonna watch dancing?
So you want to watch the playoffs?
yeah, it's playoff season.
All right.
The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
Come back.
You got to tell me what's going on.
Let's just go. Let's just go. We good. Everything's good. They come.
Who's they? What are you talking
I
about?
got him. We gotta go.
I thought we were having a double sleepover. Wait, I love you.
Nancy? I want to leave.
You gotta get away.
I'll do anything.
Come on, Nancy. Yes.
I'll adapt. You can move anywhere you want.
That's my game.
All right, Joe, we'll play that back later on. That dance was getting me. He was getting the heck on up out of there. Anyway, other thoughts were popping into my head when I'm going to play one more thing. I'm going to play something else here. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Let me play this short one first. Well, no, I'm not gonna, I have so much in my head about this topic. I'm telling you, we're going to freestyle it. I read what I read just to set it down. We're going to talk about it. And then a little while, we'll let the family come on in and make their comments if they want to do that. But my mind is all over the place. We're going to speak about the movie Sinners. I'm going to play something, a review about that. I just want to say that with many, and let's just play Umar Johnson right now. Let's just play Umar Johnson right now. This will set it up good.
Driver's seat of the relationship. She got the whole.
Let's run it
The
up.
reason why they love having a black man is in a relationship with a white man, she know who's boss. When a white woman is with a white man, she know who's boss. So if she wants to be a boss, she got to get the black man. He's the only man she can have where she know she can have her way with him. And if she don't get it with his consent, she'll get it through the legal system, i.e. Jonathan Majors. I can destroy your black ass whenever I feel like it. Yeah, you could be worth $1 billion, Bill Cosby. But what's going to happen when I tell the courts you sexually harassed me 40 years ago? See, the white woman loves the black man because she's always in the driver's seat of the relationship. She got the whole force of the white power structure behind her if he gets out of line.
Never considered that.
That is
Wow.
And honestly, I think that's why internally I've always been shook. Like,
And the reason why
Yeah, I find it to be true. There's a couple things I just want to say randomly, and then we'll move on with the discussion. I'm going to play this other clip about sinners. There's so many white women out here who they feel as though they've earned a black card just because they have a black baby. They feel they can move into a black woman's space, like a child putting on a costume on Halloween, and that child in his mind becomes Superman, Batman, the Hulk, Spider-Man. Or if it's a female, then it's a female, hopefully. You know, this is twisted up. We got grown folks putting on costumes now. Grown folks putting on costumes, chopping their organs off, and just picking an identity. We're in a sick world these days, right? But that's nothing you can be. White women do not have the essence of the black woman. White women can never be a black woman. White women, many of them, take a joy in seeing a degraded image of a black woman because it gives them a chance in their mind to fit in, because in her mind, she's the better choice. Many white women on these jobs that you have to deal with, when they give you the Colgate smile, don't believe it. When you're a black woman, and I'm speaking about black women now, and I say job because that's usually where we deal with each other up close and get to know each other to a point from what we're dealing with directly and from what we hear with the office gossip, or overhear or observe through how people move. When you're brilliant on your job, sisters, and you know the work, you're a threat to the superiority of that white woman in her mind. Because don't get it twisted. When they smile and welcome you on the job, oh, my name is Trixie. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the family. Well, a lot of people consider a dog part of their family, but the dog has to sleep outside. And maybe dog was a poor example because we know how they love to kiss dogs and have the dog in the bed, and who knows? Maybe it's the white woman, the dog, and the KY jelly, if you know what I mean. But you're a threat. And the closer you are to who you are, and it doesn't mean just growing locks, because there are a lot of sisters out here who have the look of consciousness, but they're just as much of an Oreo cookie, because for them, that's a fashion statement. And they don't embrace themselves to the core. But when they see you on these jobs and you're brilliant, and you're not somebody else's plaything, there's no rumors of you when you go to lunch with a particular gentleman one time because you were the only ones going there, and they want to start saying that you're seeing each other. Or they want to bring a wayward lifestyle to you, that you're sleeping around, or, well, she has 5 children. I heard this from 6 baby daddies. No, just 5 baby daddies. They want to get a hook on you to feel superior. It's just random thoughts before we move on. And black man, don't think, just like Umar Johnson said, that you're in charge of that white woman, even though you may be on top of her, depositing your DNA in her womb, and she lets you. She knows how preconditioned your mind has been, that's going to hook you even deeper. Because when a man is in a manly position, he feels on top of the world. And because your mind is so messed up thinking that she's the prize, and you finally nailed it, you finally got it, she acquiesced to what you wanted to do, and you think she wants to do that with you, and probably she does too, but no more than the battery-operated boyfriend that's in her side drawer. You are a tool. She is the boss. No matter how much you're on top of her, showing her your strength, working off your fetish that you masturbated to, thinking about this wonderful moment when the white woman, the power symbol, submits to you, then if the white woman submits to me, that means I must be almighty and all powerful. I made it. I'm not an NIGGER anymore. So when I walk down the street, I walk down with my chest pushed out. And I want to find the sisters who put me down. I'm not saying this, I'm reflecting this if you just came in. I want to find the sisters who thought I was nothing, who put me down. I'm going to zigzag all up and down every street and show off my white woman. When we want to go to the supermarket, we're not going to go to the white neighborhood that we live in. We're going to drive to where I grew up. And I'm looking. Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on, man? Oh, I'm just here with my wife. So proud to show off the trophy, not because you're proud of that, but because you're proud of what you think it means. But you just an NIGGER in society. Now, me personally, I know you're great. I know you're the original man of the planet. I know all the potential, all the things that you could be doing, but as far as how America, Western world, and those vampires see you, no matter how high you go in their system, pow, they're going to knock you down. Standing sharp. They're going to knock you down. So many examples. Time and time again to remind you, even in society, you're a tool for them. Why is it that in the entertainment industry, in the movie industry, that's run by some of those people who wear the little hat, they use you. And after your career is done, or you say something they don't like, they pull the financial rug from under your foot. And you end up your career, even if you tiptoed through the tulips and didn't say anything bad. Pretty much you end up broke, or you know what? Unalived. Prince, Michael Jackson, or maybe one of your family members to teach you a lesson. Bill Cosby's son, after he tried or had a desire to purchase NBC. See, there is a glass ceiling in their society. And many of us know that. I'm not saying we can't make it, but if there's a glass ceiling anywhere, or if there's a ceiling in any structure that you're in, and you keep bumping your head, what does that tell you? Leave that structure and go out to where there's no ceiling and build your own structure. But for some reason, we don't unify enough to even support our entertainers or actors, leaders, or people who have more of an ability to collectively bring us together. We automatically reject it, but yet and still we running after the white woman. Let me get the door for you. You treat them better than you treat your own sisters. Let me see something here. Let's put this on the screen. There are still better women than most black women. Look. Please explain that. Yes, Brother Wheel. Oh, Brother Wheel, yes. Sam Cooke. You hit me to a lot of what's going on and what went on with Sam Cooke. But I just want to say something to Dirty AirPods podcast and some freestyling. You say our sisters treat us like crap. Self-hate and insecurity in black women is not attractive. Well, look, I'm not going to take up the whole show with this. I'd rather understand what has happened to our sisters in a way that I feel that, or I would desire to understand what happened to us as black men in society more or less. More or less. I can't throw my sisters away like that. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you said it exactly this way, but to paraphrase it, they're no good. There are better women, whatever. Well, like Minister Farrakhan said, every time you see a no good black woman, it's because possibly of a no good black man. And every time you see a no good black man, it's because of what we've been through. So are we going to just go at each other to the light of the slave master? Or are we going to help to clean each other up? Because we didn't create this mess. We didn't create it. If you dress up, wash up, shave, groom yourself, hopefully if you're a woman, well, some women shave, I see, little chin hairs under the bottom. But you get yourself with your Sunday best on. And now you're clean. You got your cologne or your perfume on. You got that outfit that you went up and you purchased and it's fitting just right. If you wear hats, fine. The car is washed and detailed. Tires are armor-alled. You're feeling good. You got a little money in your pocket. And somebody grabs you, kidnaps you, takes your money, beats you down, and throws you into a dumpster. The dumpster is full of garbage. The straight stink, or as they say it, stankin'. S-T-A-K-I-N-G. A-N-K-I-N-G, excuse me. When you come out, your clothes are wrinkled because they knocked you unconscious for a while, but you smell like that container. You smell like the garbage. That wasn't your intention to be or smell like garbage. And anybody in their right mind would see that you're dressed up, your clothes are wrinkled, got a little jewelry on, doesn't mean much, but you know, you're right. But you smell. They're going to say, what happened, brother? Now, if you were raggedy and dirty and lint all in your hair and smelling and soiled up, they say it's unfortunate. Maybe he's homeless or drugged out. Yeah? That's the bottom line. See, we can't have anybody come into our community and destroy it as they have. And we turn around and blame the victim. If you have a sister and you know she's living a pristine life, and somebody comes into her home and kidnaps her, drugs her up, beats her down, you don't see her no more for 2 or 3 years. She's out of her mind. The one who kidnapped her put her on the street to work as a whore. And you find out from a friend, hey, bro, I saw your sister over there by South Road in Queens, or 161st in Queens, over there by what's the place in Brooklyn? Pacific Street. I don't know, Pacific Street is still jumping like that. But you can't wait to get to your sister. It hurts you to find out the condition she's in, but you know there's a reason for it because she's not like that at the core. And I will deal with some of the comments. So you get to her and you find out what happened. So are you going to turn around? Yeah, she's working the streets. My sister's a whore. She's a slut. She's a prostitute. And that was done to her. So even a sister, and this is what we have to do as black men. And we have some sisters in a small minority who are really difficult to deal with because of what they've been through. But we got to understand that. But most, we have to understand that we're going to have to take a little bit out of love. It doesn't mean now you're going to run down those who are so traumatized and try to be Mr. Fix-It and get in a relationship, but deal with them. Show them some love. Show them some kindness. Like I said before, I've known several butch lesbians that were drop dead gorgeous under the loose clothes that they had on. And I treated them nicely. I knew them in my neighborhood. I treated them with respect. I treated them like a woman should be treated. And they treated me back different because there were layers of trauma. We just can't throw something away so good and call it bad. For those who don't agree, it's okay. But if I told you, could I park my dirty Lamborghini in your front yard for a month? And if I don't come and get it after a month, you can keep it. See, anybody in their right mind would know the price of a Lamborghini, the value of it. You mean that Lamborghini is only 1 year old, or the Ferrari? It's got a little dirt on it. It's scratched up a little bit. It's got some dents. Ain't been tuned up for a while, but it's still a Lamborghini. And if he leaves it there for the month and it's mine, he's going to bring me the papers. I may not have the money to maintain the Lamborghini, but I can sure restore it and sell it because it has value. Now, I'm not saying to sell your sister. I'm just using the analogy that we have to see the value in our sisters and understand what those who we deem bad, what have they gone through? Many of my sisters and most I've talked to and just talking now and dealt with on those ways. Yes, I'm a man, but it was never a throwaway situation. We would talk. I get to know, I've talked to a lot of my sisters over my 62 years. And I would say on a low ball number, 75% of them have been violated in some way, form, or fashion on a sexual level. And most of the time, it wasn't strangers. It was close friends of the family. Family, too. So they were betrayed from young. And then how our society, and we're going to get back on the white woman. I just want to break this down because I know we're going to have some heckified comments when this goes up as a video. But then when they're betrayed by their own man and looked at as a plaything, and many of our sisters did not have the protection that they needed because many of them did not have a father. But which came first, the chicken or the egg? So we have on social media now, both sides pointing at each other. Well, the black man's no good. Well, the black woman's no good. So what you gonna do? Just run off and go with somebody else who don't really love you? How stupid is that? Everybody else goes into their own community and we don't even go into our own community. And we damn sure hardly have neighborhoods anymore. They took the neighbor out of it and we call it the hood. That's the last level. We don't even have neighborhoods anymore because there's no more neighbors. Peeping out your window, looking at the person next door. I can't stand him. I hate him. Who he think he is with that brand new car? Who he think he is? I heard he just retired, so he ain't got to work the rest of his life. Well, if you work for it, damn it, deserve it. You deserve it. And we are screwed up. Restoration is what we have to do. We have to see each other. And I say, Lamborghini, we're bigger and better than a vehicle. We're created by the best. You got to understand creation. You know, man copies creation. Man studies us to see how the universe works. We are the best, but we don't know it. And everything that we do, when you were taught history, they taught you that they invented this and they invented that. Most of it came from us. Everybody uses us on this planet as their junkyard to replace a piece here and a piece there. They don't want us to thrive and go higher. And this is why many of us with our low self-esteem about us, oh, we ain't no good. The sisters ain't no good. Well, if you're a black man talking about the sister's no good, don't get mad when somebody says your mama's no good. Don't get mad. 2 + 2 is 4. 4 - 2 is 2. If you have it one way, reverse it, it's the same way. So this is what you're telling me. And maybe your mama wasn't no good, but that doesn't mean all black women were. And if your mama was no good, she had to deal with everything coming up through history that made us the way we are. Because even though slavery technically is over the way it was done, it's still going on. We're still slaves to these jobs. There's still things you can't say on social media. There's no freedom of speech in America. They come after you. And it's global, it's worldwide. So what you gonna do? Well, we ain't no good. The sisters ain't no good. So that means you have children. If they're black, then they ain't no good either. You see what I mean? Yeah, okay, let's see what this last comment is. I'm not, man, mama was no good too. 3 babies and 3 men. Well, this is what this stems from. Because like my brother Will, who is on the line, he knew my mother personally. He knew my mother personally. So maybe because my relationship with my mother was pristine, right? My inclination is to think that, and sometimes that worked against me because I might have dated 1 or 2 who fooled me because I'm thinking most black women are good like my mother. You see what I mean? But we have got to restore, help to restore, support, even when they do things sometimes that we say they don't deserve. That's our duty. Somebody comes and dumps something in your front yard, some trash, and drives off. What you gonna do? I'm gonna wait here because he's gonna come back and clean it up. They ain't gonna come back. That's your yard. That's your woman. People gonna look at you like, why do you have all this trash? Well, I'm not cleaning it up because somebody dumped it on me. So we're not gonna clean each other up because what we've been through? No, we gotta cut our losses, we gotta rebuild, and it's probably not gonna happen in our lifetime. It can happen in our lifetime. And everybody's not gonna be down with it because you're gonna have people telling you this one's bad and that's bad and whatever. When you have a vision for something, everybody's not gonna agree with you. But when it comes true, when it comes to fruition, oh man, I believed in you. Man, I always knew you can do it. There are people who said I couldn't come to Africa and build a bigger house than I was in. Same yellow stripes like before. Look, let me go here for a second, and we're going to get on playing this other video because I don't want to get off on point. See here? You see all of this? Boom. Look at that. That was in Orlando, Florida. That's Dr. Vibrat Muhammad. I was on the phone with him yesterday. We're going to do a show this week later on. I said when I go to the motherland, I'm going to replicate and even make better. Even make it better. Make it better. You can do whatever you want to do. It's all about what's in your mind. If we get our collective minds together, we don't have to fall to thinking that somebody else's woman is better for us. If you have a Toyota, do you go to get Chevy parts to put in your Toyota? It's not made for it. When a black woman is vibrating at her highest or getting higher, it's nothing like it, man. It's nothing like it. The comfort. We're not talking about the body parts, man. That's in there too, but that's a small part. The essence. We've watched the society pull the essence out of the black woman and the strength, the essence, the love. She's so beat down. And now you want to blame her for that. Wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. We got to support her, encourage her, and protect her. And if she's so bad from a lack of protection, where were we? Where were we? We dropped the ball. Because I know some beautiful families that have gone through a lot, some beautiful women that have gone through a lot, and they still rose. But there are forces at work to keep us there. But you know what? We are stronger than that. But the problem with a lot of you out here, you don't believe so. So you quick to give up. And for those of you who have gone through stuff with your mother or your father, I understand. But understand, you can't paint the world according to your experiences personally. You've got to see beyond that. So most of us judge the world by the state of our own. And we got to get past what we have gone through and our own trauma before we can see how beautiful life can be. Yes, there are things out here, and I don't waste any time. I am a warrior, but I'm a gentle warrior. I'm a loving warrior. When it comes time to go to war on any level, mental, physical, or spiritual, I have enough discipline and wherewithal to identify it, and I can snap at the drop of a dime. I could be here just as loving, but if you come in to invade my space, I'll snuff you just as fast. If you violate my children, my loved ones, or anybody in my tribe, hands down, I'm going to get them. You think we'll be up at night? Oh, I can't believe I didn't. No, I understand. The Creator gave you your life. How dare you let somebody come in your community, which we don't have that anymore. But let's say we did. It doesn't mean you have to live around the corner from somebody. Many here are in my community. I'm in Ghana, in the mountains of the eastern region of Ghana, West Africa right now. But I'm part of something bigger. Whether you're in Kenya, Gambia, 125th Street in Harlem, Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando, Florida, wherever, I'm part of a bigger community. Yes, I'm not going to let this world fool me. Now we're going to talk about the movie Sinners. And this is a white woman's take on the movie. I'm going to play it now. I'm not going to address every single point, but I want you to hear what she has to say. And you say, wait a second, you're putting a white woman to make it, but listen to her. Listen to what she admits, and let's talk about it.
Love interest is a white woman named Mary. Now, I know I will not hit all the points.
Let's pull it back to the beginning. I'm sorry.
I've seen a lot of takes and breakdowns of the Sinners movie, but one thing I want to specifically get into is the difference between who the twins are romantically involved with. Now, before I dive in, this will have spoilers, so if you have not seen the movie, one, change that and go see it. Best movie I've seen in a very long time. Many people agree with that. And two, I would skip this video so you can see it for yourself. Two of the main characters in the movie were the love interests of Smoke and Stack, the two roles played by Michael B. Jordan. Smoke's love interest is a black woman named Annie, and Stack's love interest is a white woman named Mary. Now, I know I will not hit all the points of metaphors, symbolism, and the deeper meaning portrayed by Ryan Coogler with these two very opposite, contrasting love interests and romantic situations. Annie was wise, intuitive, deeply spiritual, and she knew what to do in a moment of crisis. She was not only worried about protecting herself and protecting Smoke, she was worried about protecting everybody. Meanwhile, Mary, the white woman, was the very reason the vampires were able to infiltrate and get in. She said she wanted to go see what they were about, if they had money to spend, and she's the one that really advocated to go out there and see what was up. Mary was also very good at playing the victim, playing the damsel, and also feeling incredibly entitled. Like, if you caught when her mom passed away, the way she guilted Smoke and Stack about not being there for her funeral. And if you peeped the way she guilted the twins and said, after all my mom did for you and you couldn't even show up for her funeral, let alone send flowers. And they said something along the lines of, we sent her plenty of flowers while she was alive, to me is like very much representative, and something that's very common for us as white folks is to everything we do is with strings attached. That like we believe Black folks owe us unending gratitude for us doing the bare minimum. Annie was holding Smoke down. She was holding him accountable. She was helping make things run. She had a solution. She was the only one with a real solution when it came to how to fight off and protect themselves from the vampires. Meanwhile, Mary was all about herself. She did not care what Stack had to say or what he was asking. He was telling her to leave him alone several times. When Preacher Boy told her she shouldn't be at the juke joint, she didn't care, and she just like manipulated him and distracted him and said, let's go get a drink. To me, this was very real, very obvious, straightforward symbolism. Honestly, I don't even know if you need to call it symbolism. It's just a reflection of reality. Now I'm going to end by saying, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. A quote by the late, great Paul Mooney. Not all white women are Mary, but most of us are. I strive not to be, but I have been. And that's a reality we need to reckon with, and we need to confront, and we need to actively be held accountable to be better and do better. And we can't get mad when we're not allowed in the juke joint when we have a history of letting the vampires in.
See that? She broke down, using the movie as a template to break down how white women have these issues. We're so quick to point out our own sisters that they have issues. But see, white women generally will not admit that they have issues. And many of us as Black men who want to sniff up. Now, I've known people who have been together, Black men and white women. I would be wrong to lie and say that they didn't have something that lasted. I can't say 100% of everybody, but all I'm saying is that there's no way that in America, you're gonna be dressed up in a nice outfit and go in the mud and wrestle with a pig and come out spotless, meaning our psyche, right? I have known some Caucasians. The number may be in the minority, but I'll be a liar to sit up here. And if that pisses anybody off, then I'm sorry. I'll name out some people that are not with us anymore. John and Judith Stonehill. They were the ones that, and not because of this, they gave me a gift of a National Geographic subscription for 5 years. They were a client of my father. And all the way until my father passed away, they were there. And then they passed away right after, before my mother did. And they had money. And they took it upon themselves. And my father was a hardworking man who never asked anybody for anything. He did his own thing. I never wanted for anything. And they're the ones who suggested. They said, Lance, that's my father's name. You need to elevate. And he knew this because we were working to get the house and everything. And they gave him the down payment for the house. Didn't want anything back and refused it. And they were at my father's homegoing service, both of them, sitting there. And the sincere tears that they had and the love that they had for my family. I'm not going to lie. It was real from what I see and what I analyzed back then. And it wasn't white guilt. And they'd always have discussions about certain things like that on that level. And it was a learning experience for me to see White people who had money, homes in New York, Texas, Italy, Europe, traveling all the time, but just as humble, you would never know it. I have to say that. But the majority of what I had to go through in America wasn't that. It wasn't that. You see what I mean? So, this being said, and then we have situations like this.
Elaborate as to why specifically black guys?
Yes, black guys are melanated, and I want my children to survive. And I know that the only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin. So that's the way for me to, you know, make my legacy continue.
Okay, I like that answer. That's actually a really unique answer.
So you're not going after somebody because you love them. You're just going after somebody because they got melanin in their skin, and you want to use the black man to keep your legacy going. You see? I mean, did you catch that? It wasn't that, well, if I find love with a black man, I'm just saying they might say this, right? I'm not saying that's the real reason. But no, I'm going to be with a black man so I can keep my legacy going. And what's your legacy? Are those children going to identify as being black, or are you going to raise them up to be called the new word now, biracial? Because I remember the times when the word mulatto was passed around, and that if you had one drop of black blood, you were a darkie. You were a NIGG, you know how, whether you put an A or an ER at the end of it, you know what that means. You know what I'm talking about. Come on, people. Hey. I can't sing like my brother who's in the room. I won't blow him up. He's a private person. Wonderful voice. That's just using you. You're a tool once again. Could you imagine in the times of slavery how bad they treated us? Well, you'll say, well, they made movies about it and they documented it. They didn't tell you the worst parts. If what they've given you in history is so bad, and they're not going to tell the story to make themselves seem so bad, what was it really? And did they change their vibration? And don't be fooled when they say, oh, that was the past. So why are they taking people to court and arresting them for a crime they may have done a year ago or 10 years ago or yesterday? Can I stand in front of a judge and say, oh, that was the past. That was yesterday. I didn't do that just now. No. And you're the beneficiary of all the things that your forefathers have done to rape, rob, and steal to put you in the position that you're in now. Just like they're doing now over here in the motherland, raping and robbing, and the leaders here that are selling them out. And now they're mad when Ibrahim Traore says, no more, get out. This is ours, and we're going to build and do our own thing. And this is what we need in our community. So as tarnished as you may think your own sister is, see the beauty in her, work along with her. If she's dry soil, be the rain that beats down in that soil, because there's seeds of greatness inside of her that are willing to come up in the proper environment. We're reacting to the environment that we've been put in and we don't realize it. The things that get filtered goes past the filters of our brain. We don't have a filter as we mindlessly look at the hijack rap. Hip hop and rap is a wonderful thing, but it was hijacked and turned around against us. Before 1989, it was all good until we had this gangster rap, until it was almost like porn. We're seeing the females' bodies. We know what the female body looks like, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Doesn't mean you got to walk around lusting, but it's fascinating. Wow, look at her. Control yourself, brothers, but doesn't mean you're going to do that in the street and break your neck looking. But this thing in Christianity, I'm going to say it, that makes us, we see a woman, look, you're going to respect her. You're not going to ogle her publicly and make her feel shame. But as a man, you have an attraction for a woman, your own sister, beautiful as she is, not just on a physical level, but when it catches your eye, you don't have to blink in your eye. Oh, I can't. I can't. There ain't nothing wrong with you being attracted to your sister and compliment her in a righteous way. Don't roll up on us, damn, baby, you got to do that. No, that's barbaric. We got to stop these little things that are on our mind. Stop with these secret agendas and hidden motivations. Put it to the side. They're leading us to slaughter. We're watching these shows and these videos, and now we're not shocked anymore. We walk down the street and see two men kissing. What the hell? Reading something, and the woman says, oh, yes, me and my wife. What? This was always around, and don't come to me and tell me, well, it was always around. But even people who were getting down like that, they kept that bad boy behind closed doors. I've said it before. We all know that single man who never brought a woman home. We never saw him with a woman, but there was always that guy with him that would, after work, they'd come to his apartment on Friday and you'd see them leaving Monday morning to go to work. And we, so young, we didn't know. Hey, Mr. So-and-so, he'd give us candy. He was nice. He'd give us ice cream cones in front of our parents, whatever. He was a nice guy, but he was a little too sweet. He ain't bother nobody. He wasn't pushing nothing on nobody. Now things that are abnormal are normal, and things that are normal are abnormal. And we're so programmed and screwed, not just in our backside, symbolically, but mentally so bad we're looking at our own family, our own sisters, like they're the culprit, like they're the reason why things are the way they are, and somebody else is laughing. And many of us as black men still feel that way, that everything else is better than what we have. And if you're treated that way at the root, you feel as though you're nothing and you will produce nothing because you look in the mirror and you hate everything about yourself. I love myself. I'm not a narcissist, but I love myself. I respect myself. I think the highest of myself. And I know that anything I put my mind to doing, I will accomplish. I will go to the ends of the earth to work hard to fulfill my vision. That's why I can't get along with everybody. You get the naysayers that come around you. You're with your own black woman, and some guy, hey man, I think you could have did better than that. Well, what you mean, better than that? Well, you know, she kind of heavy, you know, and yeah, she a little dark, you know, her nose is wide. Well, that's what I like, brother. What else would you suggest for me? I want to be with an African woman. If she happens to be a little heavy because she worked many hours and ate some fast food, we can change that. That's not a problem. You see, too many of us walk around this planet with a ready-made template of what our woman should be. And most of the time, it looks nothing like our black African sisters, right? Whether they live in America, Alaska, whatever, our black African sisters. We may be with one for convenience or be with one as a placeholder, but oh boy, I would love to be with that white woman. And for some of us who have knocked that off, some of us will only deal with the next thing closest to the white woman as somebody who, as they so ignorantly say, and we got to talk about that. Oh, she's light. She's a light-skinned black woman. She's a fair-skinned black woman. Fair skin? She's fair just because she's light? So unfair. Huh? What's unfair? Like I said the other day on the show, young lady out here asked me if I have a brother because she knows I'm married. She says, oh, because if your brother looks like you, I will have a white baby. See, there's ignorance going on over here too. The colonizer, he must have a million ways of reaching through his media, TV, religion. It's crazy how deep this runs. It ain't going nowhere no time soon. But we got to do our part. We got to turn the tide. We got to turn the tables. It's been going on too long. I can't believe this is 2025. I never even thought about 2025 when I was a kid. Like I always say, I asked my mother when I was young, I think I was 4 years old, Mommy, how old am I going to be in the year 2000? She said, oh, you're going to be 37 years old. Wow. 37 years old. Wow, that's old. Well, guess what? That was 25 years ago. Time is popping, y'all. Everybody else is getting busy for their legacy and their people. And we're still slinging the same mud at each other that didn't come from us. You see the white woman? She didn't say, oh, I would love to love a black man. And even that, just picking out one. But she said for her legacy, I got to play that again. Where is it at? Where it at? Here we go.
So for you, black guys or white guys?
Black guys.
Can you elaborate as to why specifically black guys?
Yes, black guys are melanated, and I want my children to survive. And I know that the only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin. So that's the way for me to, make my legacy continue.
Okay, I like that answer. That's actually a really unique answer. So for you, black.
You fool. I like that answer. Unique answer. You like that answer? She just want to. She's like one of them twisted scientists in the science fiction movies that want to rule the world. So we're gonna use the black man's sperm and his melanated skin and all the like an alloy. Like you have a metal that's kind of weak, and you combine it with another metal, and it makes it stronger. It's an alloy. You're a tool. You're a tool when they're in the bed with you. The forbidden fruit, and you just glad. Like I said, because you think that you're elevating yourself when you lay. And the sad part about it, oh, here's another one. Oh, it just hit me. The brothers who deal with black women and deal with white women, they're dating. There are some black women that they refuse to deal with. Oh, God, she's too dark. He's too fat. I could be the most sweetest, loving woman who is a ride or die for you, but you're judging on that. And then with some of these white women, short shelf life, done by the time they hit 30 years old, and they hiding it. Some may preserve it a little more. That's on a physical level, but your standards, it's lower with them. Let's just pick the physical level. You looking for something wrong with the black woman, but you get some nasty, pudgy, cottage cheese having, inbred looking, pale, greenish tinged skin, rat looking so-and-so, and you walking down the street so proud. You get anything that's white. I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell it. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. I don't make no money from YouTube no more. A little bit, a year or two, a couple years ago, they shut everything down up. Is this sustaining me? I can walk away from this thing and never come back. I don't care about that. I care about my people. I care about expressing an exchange that we can have. This gives me leverage. But I've lived a full life and will continue to do so. I got good people in my inner circle. I can call them. We can YouTube personally with each other. You see what I mean? It could, K. Daniel, it could. Black love could exist, but many of us don't want to make the investment to bring it back. You see what I mean? So we know Not many black people hate each other, but you know, we can't have a child who is just born, like say, Usain Bolt, the track star, right? When he was born, he couldn't run, he crawled. What I'm saying is that instead of just saying it's like a tax write-off or a vehicle that's damaged so much, it's we can't bring it back. Insurance has to buy us a new vehicle. Why don't we start to rebuild? To me, we have no other choice because who are we going to go to? What's better for us? When you have women out here like this who will gladly take you in for your melanin. Don't love you. It's your melanin. And this is bad all over the planet. I'm going to play another clip about the Gambia and the sex tourism. Here we go.
What the issue is. And I think it starts with
Let's run it back to the beginning. I'm so
why
bad.
are Gambians participating? So that's actually a good point that you make, because there's a problem. We have to sensitize the Gambian communities a little bit more. There's got to be a grassroots effort to educate the families, because at the end of the day, if a family is poor, they're making $1,000 a month, and all of a sudden this white European male or female comes with thousands of pounds, thousands of dollars, offer to take their child to Europe, give them a visa, give them a better life. They turn a blind eye, and that is what the issue is. And I think it starts with the young people as well, because some of them know they're 18, they're 17, they're 16. They know what these people are coming here for. But again, it's the poverty. At the same time, though, the hotels, they can't turn a blind eye. The policemen can't turn the blind eye. And we got to make sure that everything is in place. So when these pedophiles or these dirty Harrys, that's what we call them, dirty Harrys back in the day, these dirty Harrys or dirty Sarahs, when they come to the Gambia, that they know that it's a no-nonsense policy.
So why are
See that? There's a sex tourism problem in the Gambia, not just the Gambia, everywhere in the motherland. You get the Europeans, the men, of course, everywhere. But now we got the women, right? Yeah. We got the women coming down, old grannies. Old grannies looking like Herman Munster, just looking rough, bad. I had a few at the beach the other day, try to flirt with me. They stare me down. Ain't nothing alluring about you. What you looking at me for? But they go down there to get their pets. See, just like Umar Johnson said in the clip that I played earlier before, the white woman will deal with you, but she knows that she's in charge. And you think it's a fair and equitable situation until the doo-doo hits the fan and you realize who has more power. And you have some guys, because of poverty, either here, America, Jamaica, the Caribbean, that these women, they won't get their thing on. And it doesn't mean they love you. They'll take you back because you're like a pet. You're like that dog. The dog doesn't have status in that white household. He is a pet. He's there for a purpose, to protect and maybe serve that woman in the bed. There's a whole lot of that going on, and I saw that with my own eyes. You can't tell me. I'm not saying every situation is like that. But you know, in America, you as a black man, you don't even have the status of a dog. They love their dogs better than they'll ever love you. But you have pet status also, but your pet status as a tool or a penis is less than a dog when you really come down to it. I'm not making excuses for anybody. I'm not saying this is everybody, but it's still here in 2025, and it shouldn't be. Nothing. This is my opinion. If I go to Baskin Robbins where they have all these different flavors of ice cream, give me the chocolate all the time, baby. Because when my mama died, I'm saying symbolically, my mother passed away, God rest her soul, in 1994, in April, right? As a matter of fact, it'll be so many years tomorrow. Wow. That's why I've been dreaming about it so much. But you're just a tool to them. That's all. And when you can't serve your purpose, they'll get another one just as fast. I remember there was this white girl who was after me. So it was in 1984. She was after me. She trained in the same gym that I trained in the village, natural physique. For those who are here who know all about it, right? My brother's here. He's in the cut. And I was friendly with her. You know, some of the groups of people would go and we'd eat at BBQ's little restaurant where they had good chicken and vegetables and whatever for cheap. It was like $4 or $5, a big thing. Never dated her or anything. When she finally got the message, she bought this big robotic gigantor looking brother and grabbed his hand in front of me. Come on, let's go get some spaghettis. She loved spaghetti. She was an Italian chick. Oh, hi, Lance. How are you doing? Let me introduce you to my boyfriend. And he was a big tool. Big, couldn't hardly talk. Jerry curls dripping down the back of his neck. Probably had some activate. Like you getting back at me. Like you think that I thought that you're the prize? Who lied and told you that? And when they hear statements about that, date who you want to date when the consequences come and you realize that you're not getting the full thing that you need in your essence, you shortchange yourself. There's no white woman on this planet for me that can outdo a fully activated and totally ascended on a mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional level. I mentioned when your mother dies, symbolically, right? And you have a real black woman who holds you close, and tears may come down. That's the most comforting feeling. You can't get that from nowhere else. I'm sorry. You may think you can't get it because your experiences were bad. Therefore, we can't have a bad experience with one sister and think everybody's like that. Or maybe you're attracted to a certain type of sister that always works out bad. You can't say all of them. So when you lead with the talk of, well, ain't none of them good, then I'm not gonna argue. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's okay. I'm too old to argue. I used to debate and try to convince. No, I'm not doing that no more. Everybody chooses what they want. You make the choice. We all go to the restaurant together. You pick what you want off the menu. If it makes your stomach sick later on, you chose it. Let's go through some of the comments. Well, first of all, before I even do that, does anybody want to come in and have anything to say? I'm not going to just, even though this is the Lancescurv show, I'm not going to dominate my own show. I'm going to be fair and let people come in. See? Okay. And yes, traveling dude, I'm not mad at you for saying that. I'm not mad at you for saying that. I'm a proud white man. I only want a beautiful, intelligent white snow bunny. How can I be mad at that? The white snow bunny was made for you, right? There's certain unspoken things that you can communicate between yourselves because the parts fit so right. I have no problem with that at all. And I'm glad you have no problem with me saying what I say. And it's not out of hate. Because just like what you said, just a comment before, anything interracial always leads to problems on any side. Does anybody want to come on in? Did I drop? Yeah, I dropped the link right here. Here it is. It's in the chat room. Click it and come on in. Have a few minutes of something to say if you want to share it. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. But you can. It's okay. I'll let you right on in. There'll be no problem. I'll give a few moments with that. I'll say a few more random things I want to speak about. And I think everything is coming along beautiful. Wise man. Wise man. Okay, let me let you on. Let me go to a different layout. Let's see what we can get going here. Wise man, you're in. Talk to me, brother.
Hey, peace, brother. How you doing?
Oh, yes, I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm here. We doing our thing.
Yeah, I want to speak on the topic of snow bunnies. You know, and no offense to Dr. Umar Johnson. I contributed to his school. I know I was on another platform, not talking ill about him, just criticizing him and his behavior and actions. But I think he's blown his whole snow bunny out of proportion. Most black men are with black women. Most black women are with black men. I still think there's a mutual respect for black women and black men. I think this is propaganda and this is being blown out of proportion.
You want my opinion on that?
Yes.
No, yes. It's almost like a rare disease that took the life of 5 people in a big city. I'm not minimizing it now, but it has potential to really get out of hand, so we have to get on it more so. But remember that online and social media, me personally, this part of it I don't care about. I've been doing this for years. I've been doing this for years before YouTube even existed, as far as expressing myself and doing. That's who I am. If social media was wiped away, we're going to be on the corner somewhere talking, or sitting down at the cafe talking the same kind of conversations. And thank you for the compliment, traveling dude. We got to be real with each other. But the business of social media is about likes and clicks and follows. And many of us get caught up in thinking that what we see handed to us by the algorithm is reality, because we got the phone in our face between the reality and we don't look and observe what's really going on. And then now those of us who are creators want to get in on the race. So we do the same things and amp things up to get likes and shares. So there's a lot of truth to what he says. And in actuality, he's a specialist. And I do have my issues with him, because I've communicated with him through the phone, like not on the phone, but the text or whatever. There was one video I did in support of him maybe like 8 years ago. He put it on his Twitter page, which is rare because he doesn't put anybody's thing there. But because of me being on social media and getting the respect from people who've been in the game a long time, even though my numbers are low on this new channel, I'm privy to a lot. I'm not going to say anything bad about him like that. I've said some things that kind of back off from that, because at the end of the day, he does bring some good words of truth that he doesn't hold back on, right? Some of the things that he says, it's just so phenomenal. But we have to learn how to take what's good for us, right? It's like when you go to Golden Corral or any all-you-can-eat place in America, you go and you pick what you want. We have it all laid out. You don't even have to eat meat. You don't have to eat vegetables. You don't have to eat fruit. You can pile up what you want, and whatever seasonings you choose, how much you need to get you through that meal the way you want. So we have to learn how to put filters on our mind with social media, but that he is the specialist in that kind of thing, right? So that's all you're really going to hear from him. From somebody else, you're going to hear something different. So we have to take from it as we need, and not put him in a place where he's responsible for the variety that we need in our life. You see what I mean?
No, I see what you mean.
You see what I'm saying? So also, I have my personal issues with him that I won't come out here like other people. Oh, he's this. You got people who have whole channels, entire channels. What you think the subject is? Every day, it's about Umar Johnson.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, and I'd like to share the link so you can see it, but I'm not going to promote that. No. It's interesting, and he does expose a lot about Umar Johnson, but can't you take the same energy and say, hey, let's do something to build? Let's build.
Mm-hmm.
I got no time to be resentful of somebody else so much. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no balance.
You know, it just doesn't make any sense. Just like traveling dude, a white man is proud. White, I can't be mad at that. There were dudes that worked in the corrections in Orange County in Florida when I worked there. That were country boys, not the city white boys. They were the country boys. A lot of them were members of the Klan. And we sat down. I had to work with them. I can't, instead of me saying you part of the Klan, I know how you feel, but give me something to explain to me why you are the way you are. And I saw some things in there. I don't agree with that. But when they saw how I was willing, and they were willing to listen to me, there were some who left the Klan after talking with me. Not just one time, but we worked on posts together. There's one guy, initials MW, who left Florida and went to North Carolina. He's like, yo, I'm not in that no more. I wasn't trying to convert you out of it. But let's reason. Let's use our mind, whether it's within the race or to understand how we relate to other people. I am not a stereotype. I'm going to tell it to you straight. There are times in my life, in my growth, I was angry a lot, but I'm very analytical now. It's like boxing, effective aggression. You may feel you're doing something, you come out, I'll kill you. The guy just dodging, pop, 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 giving you angles. If you come out strategic, keep your guard up, your footwork, you're in shape. You don't have to throw all these hard punches and get yourself winded. You're strategic in how you break the opponent down. Just like the enemies of us who are in those positions to control our media and control all of everything that we absorb, they're very strategic. They study us. They study us. They will watch us on social media. They'll throw out something that's false to see our reaction. And we do ourselves bad, y'all. Like I said, we don't have community anymore. We hardly have neighborhoods. With no neighbors, it's just a hood. So we need to look inward now. We should have always done that. There's no excuse for how we've stayed stagnant. Because there are other communities that are not going to accept certain things that we accept and the garbage that we take in, our bodies, our minds, our souls. Our families are falling apart. Why? Our sons and daughters are getting turned out. Why? Right? We can blame. And there are reasons. Like I said, yes, there are things. It's perpetual motion now. The enemies of us who don't want us on this earth anymore, since they can't use us anymore, they put it on automatic. So we just killing each other off now in so many different ways. In subtle ways. You have parents that discourage the children from doing anything better because they didn't have it that way, or they didn't have the opportunity. What's that? White man did that? Then you got the Hotep brothers who, yeah, the white man did, yeah. And the ones that I know personally, they doing the most damage. I'm not talking this way because there's a white man here talking. I talk this way all the time. What about the responsibility of cleaning up our own backyard and making it a certain way? Yes, we've tried it with Black Wall Street. We've tried it with different things that come at us. Oh, yeah, I understand that. But we keep it airtight and really are about it and really give more than we receive. How many people are looking to give more in the Black community than they receive? I know somebody personally who was speaking to Umar Johnson, who could have done something big and great, and asked him, this is what I'm doing. I need your presence with this project. Why this big fee? You're talking one way, whatever, but like I said, that's all I'll say. I get a lot of inside information. Don't look at the amount of followers I have on this channel. People say, oh, he only got so, and I got I got 250,000. Yeah, because you walk around with your titties out and they're looking at your butt and your titties. You're on a lower level, titillating people. You see? Look behind it. Algorithms ain't going to push something that's going to break the algorithm and make people think a different way. And I'm no guy who knows everything. I'm a regular dude who's passionate, who will say what I want to say from the heart. And again, if I'm wrong on something and I learn better, I'll be the first one to come and say, you know what? I was wrong on that because I didn't have every part of the puzzle. And I made my assessment based on this, and I didn't know that. But now that I add this into it, I have a different outlook and I understand better. And maybe soon I'll understand even more. I'm running my mouth, brother. Come on, talk to me. Anything else you want to say? You know what I'm talking about.
Not much else. About the snow bunnies, I'm not attracted to white women. I had them hit on me. I say, thank you, no, thank you. I actually had one recently. I was doing security at this place. I cannot disclose the place where I work, but I was doing security there. I feel like it was a setup. I think they're watching me. Someone told me they're watching me. It's like deeper. I don't want to talk about it now, but I think they're trying to get to see me, how I react to potentially dating a white woman. I basically kind of reject her by not going any further with her, because I don't date on a job, not where I work. But it was just kind of odd. She was a white woman. She was kind of talking to me. She was nice, but it's like she asked me what I do for fun. I kind of went blank. And I was like, yeah, hang out with my friends. And I walked away and she walked away. And then like the next day, everybody's looking at me kind of funny. And I'm like, I feel like they're watching me. Sometimes I feel like they're testing black men to see like, how does he react to that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And just like we have all different types of black men, we have different types of white men and different types of this and that. I wanted to deal with some of the comments that's here. Like K Daniel Network says, I don't consider all black people my sisters and brothers because I grew up in the hood. And trust me, we ain't all sisters and brothers. And niggas will kill you in the heart or in the heartbeat, maybe. Unified with God only. No, I understand. We are the sum total of our experiences. Oh, you know, you can tell the reaction of someone when you get to know them a little bit. They probably went through this or they probably went through that. And I understand. I can't say it's wrong what a person been through. I can't say it's wrong what Kate Daniel Network said about we ain't all sisters and brothers, because I do know, and I'm not going to change and say that we all sisters and brothers. No, I'm not going to say that. Because like I said, look at a white man in the family. My father's client back in the day. I was born and he was a client of my father's, right? And coming up, right? So I can't lump everybody in a certain way. But I will say we are that. But we've been pulled away from being that. But since we can't change society and the world overnight, I understand. I've been screwed over by probably more black folk than anything else. They come smiling and, oh, my brother. Yes, my brother. I know that. But the scope, the cross threads are on both of us, are on all of us in the system the way they want to destroy. And yes, there is even a bigger system that wants to destroy humanity. All things God created. They want to wipe all of that out. So for the white folks that are not aware, it's you too. But because there are many white folks that feel the privilege, even though they don't have the financial privilege or you know, but just the trickle down effect that we give them and they feel they already have, a lot of them don't think that this machine is coming for them too. See? So it's bigger than just race. It's bigger than just race. But within the container of race, within the container of that, we've sinned against each other so much. And we've been programmed by that racist system to come against each other and the whole twisted thing. It's like black love is not acceptable. It's not acceptable anymore. So we will turn against it. Find an individual who you can be with. This is why it's important. The old way we used to do things, we dated. That's the first step. You date, you court, you engage, and then you get married. Now, when you get married, you can do a little more than when you were engaged. And when you're engaged, you're a little closer than when you were courting because you already know this is the person I'm going to marry. When you date, it's just to feel the energy of the person, to get to know them. Giant Gain. I want to see Giant Gain on in. Welcome, Giant Gain. Come on and talk to us.
Peace and love, everybody. I wanted to address the comment made by Dirty AirPod to say that weave is definitely a sign of not loving yourself, self-hatred. And I'm just quoting the comment because I don't see it anymore. But I want to say again, and to your opinions, you have your right and entitlement to your opinions, but they can be very disrespectful. Me being in the hair industry, I've dealt with women who had to wear weave because they had alopecia. It wasn't a choice of self-hatred, but self-pride enough for them to say, I still want to wear a crown of hair, and this is my only option because of what I'm dealing with. So to say that is a slap to those women who have that as a choice to have to do that because of what they're going through. But I will also say this, where it's the self-accountability, because I can say for a fact, because I deal with or have dealt with women in the hair industry doing hair and weaves and extensions or whatever you want to call it, that if it was brothers in the hood walking around with a nappy neck afro girl on his arms and strutting her like she was a dime piece, it would be a lot of women that wouldn't even think about getting hair weaves and things like that. But because it's the image, when we see our brothers, they want a girl that's got good hair, or like you said, fair skin and things like that. Nobody talks about not having the love of the brother and making her feel like her being a Black woman is the thing to be. Where is that accountability before we just put out there that this is how Black women are, and if you will weave, you don't have self-love? But what if she got that love from that brother and it helped her to appreciate the fact that, my curves, it is a good thing that he likes this, my brother likes this, my short hair or my curly nappy afro, he likes this, he likes my big nose, or he likes my big lips. Who made her feel like she was loved from her own kind? That's all something that needs to be addressed. It's not just this is who she wanted to be always, or that she's trying to emulate somebody else, but if she's trying to get the attention of the one something that's supposed to be loving her, whether she had a father figure or not, but it's the one something because that is her race of people that should be loving her and upholding her, and she don't get that. And then when she don't reciprocate it, now Black women don't like Black men.
She's right.
Great point. That's right. And just like we said earlier, we have to make that normal again. It doesn't have to be a political statement. It's just that this is the way it is. We love our sisters. And I always say it. Even as I walk up and down the dirt roads and the paved roads and just go off the beaten path and meet a lot of people in the villages up here, that they're kind of untouched, right? You go closer to the city and everybody has their phones and social media, and they want to become westernized and get the appearance and change. And there was one Ghanaian woman who, she was in an appliance store, and she was one of the workers there, right? And her accent was just off. She was saying certain words as though I could pick up that she was from New York, but she was trying hard. So I asked her in a plain accent, because I know my accent can get strong. I said, where are you from? Oh, I'm from New York. I know she was lying, right? I said, really? I said, what part of New York, you know? And she's picking out names that she heard of but didn't really know, right? And thank you, Giant Gain, for coming on and sharing that with us, right? And it's like she didn't want to be herself. Like she thought that if she could be this person from this place that many people here honor because they want to go to America. I'm from New York. And I humbly say, I am New York, meaning that even though I haven't lived there in 24 years, things don't change that much. The structures change and things change, but at the core, no, I know that place. I know that place. And it's nothing to push your nose up about, right? So many of us, we have, and I started to write an article this morning, and I got an important phone call that I had to stop, and I'm going to put it up later. I'm going to finish. I'm going to go up on the back porch and just chill and just, because I write my articles I record them with a dictation app. So I speak it in, you know, so it can just flow more without worrying about it. And I do that too. But I was basically saying that a lot of us, and this is off topic, but I have to say this in this context, a lot of us don't even know who we are because of the noise around us. And I don't mean just the noise that you hear in your ear, but the noise of other people in our circles, our various circles. We have a work circle, a family circle, a neighbor circle, a church circle, whichever, mosque or whatever it may be. Football team or, you know, bingo hall, or we have different circles. And with those circles come different energies through people. And we take people on the surface value. Like, okay, this is what they are. No, that's what they're telling you they are. They may not know what they are. Have they done the sufficient work to cleanse off the effects of the noise that was around them that made them spout out the same views but didn't really experiment on it himself or herself? I can talk with anyone because more and more I know myself. And there are things I've had shows on and I've admitted to. Oh, Lance, you crazy. You admitted to that? You wild. I'm free. I don't have time to put up some exoskeleton or some image or wear a mask. And some people have so many masks that they hold on to and they get heavy. Uh-oh, here come the church folk. I'm hanging out with my drinking buddies. Let me put that mask behind me, right? You in the church service and you see the young lady with the tight dress, a white dress, and the red panties, and you can see the red panties coming through, and one of the panties is up a little higher, and you can see, I know. I wasn't those blinking an eye. I can't look. No, I want to see what that looked pretty good right there. But I know what I've cleansed myself from, and I know myself that I can talk about past transgressions easy. I can relate. I'm not holier than thou. I'm not going to put that weight on myself. I have to make sure that I appear perfect. No, I'm not. And on the ultimate level, I will never be perfect. Nobody here will ever be perfect. Let's take the same word and emphasize a different syllable, that we can perfect ourselves. We can perfect ourselves, but we're not ever going to be perfect. So get that out your head and stop trying to act that way. We all have had one-ply toilet paper finger slips, if you know what I mean. When you go, oh God, I got this stuff in my hand, I got to wash. You better get that two-ply paper. You'll avoid the accident, but we want to be cool, like we're not on that level, like we haven't done things. Like we don't have freaky tendencies deep down, but we butter it up and whatever. Maybe that might not be your thing. You might be sniffing something, drinking something, or just have venom in your heart. We all got something to clean up because there's no way you're going to be perfect because we were born into an imperfect container. The engineered man-made world. It's not what we should be honoring, but we're in it. We got to deal with it. And this comes along with it. All this stuff on race, look. Just like stereotypes are put out about Black people, and we know that we're all not like this one way. There are some who go beyond the stereotype, and some people say, see how they all look at, because they're looking at one person, they'll look at me a certain way. You know how many white women would get on the train in New York, sometimes 3, 4 in the morning, I'm coming from somewhere, hanging out or whatever, and they come into the one car and they look at me and there's nobody else there, and they go to the next car. That's because of something in their head. It's not me. You want to be near me, I'll protect you. Even if you're a white woman, I'm not going to have nothing happen to me or happen to somebody on my watch. Oh, she's white, let her get beat down and raped and robbed. No, I ain't going to do that. I ain't gay. But if somebody's not bothering somebody and they're walking down the street and somebody wants to jump them because of that, I'm going to jump in. I ain't going to let, you're a human being still. We all have ways to be common and not common. It happens in every race. You got white folks that treat each other bad because of status. Oh, he doesn't make as much money as I do. He's nothing. I know people like that. We have to dissect it so many different ways and have a mind where we got to say, okay, what was the noise that they heard? What affected them? What made them the way they are? You know, when you collect comic books, you see the superheroes and you see the comic that says the origin of Spider-Man. How did he become Spider-Man? How did he become the Hulk? He got hit by gamma radiation, but you didn't know that. So you mess with him, Bruce Banner. You found out. F around and find out. Yes. And if you want to come back on in, fine. When you speak, it's always gold, Giant Gang. And I still got to respond to those messages too. I've been running into, look, I was supposed to do this show yesterday. But I was working on things, perfecting things. I said, you know what? Instead of me doing 10 shows a day, let everyone now be good. Work on it. The thumbnail, the presentation, all this different stuff. Even better. Let's go higher. Perfect. I'm not perfect, but I want to perfect myself, which means every day is an opportunity to get better, not just for me to get better for me, but to see or have some insight on the next man or woman, because maybe I'm there to help them. Maybe they're there to help me. Maybe they can understand something about me. My dear sister, who I call Customado, she's a life coach to me. She told me things about myself within the last 2 weeks that it took me, I didn't even realize it. I was like, whoa. Because I was upfront and revealed everything, and just in our conversations. And that's the way I am. If I know you and I trust you and you're in my circle, I'm not gonna front. You're gonna know who I am, good, bad, and ugly. The things.
Hey, brother.
Yes.
I have a question for you, and I want to, go a little deeper. But with white people, with so much interracial happening, right, and with so much interracial dating, especially in America and around the world. Now, I'm gonna get a little deep when I say this. We know that Europeans are a global minority, right? So if they keep interracial dating, if they keep intermixing with everybody, right, especially Black people, African people, and they start to dilute their gene pool, do you possibly think they could be heading into, I don't want to say extinction, but they're just, okay, all they're doing is lowering their numbers even more. So do you think the biracials are going to be like the next white people? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, you keep putting chocolate syrup in the milk, it's not going to look like milk no more, right? But if a white person is truly about humanity, that shouldn't matter. But there are people in power with what I'm hearing, that the Caucasian population worldwide is really 9%. Correct me if I'm wrong. It ain't 75%. But we get a false sense of their population because in America, there's such concentrations of Caucasians. But then I've gone weeks out here not seeing one because I'm in the motherland. And some days I go to certain parts. You know, there are a lot of people who are not African here, born African. And then we got to clarify that, because what if a white person is born in Africa? They're African, right? But they're not the melanated black African original, whatever, you see? So terminology could be split up and statistics could be bent to favor whatever narrative you may have. But that's true. And I think there's a big faction of people in power who want to, like the lady said, she wants to keep her legacy. She wants to keep things pure. Okay. I'm going to say something the first you might understand. I have no problem with that. Don't, in your effort to keep yourself as a so-called pure race, pure of what you are, right? If you could say that, then you said it. Don't try to snuff out those who are not like you. Live and let live. If that's what you want, you go to the restaurant, you order what you want. But if you're hateful now, and you feel that my existence, which is God given as a threat to you, then you got a problem. And then we got a problem. We got a problem. You see? So right now, honestly, to go off and come back, you know, you got to sometimes go over the double yellow line to get past that one person that's slowing the whole road up, right? And you got to come back on because you'll get a head-on collision. But truth be told, I think right now we're dealing with entities that are not of this realm, that have taken control and made deals with those who are in power. And they're there to harvest our energies and harvest our souls. And the more righteous we live, the more, the less appealing we are to them. This is why overall, everything is to bring our vibration down. Then we look really good and juicy to these entities. Because I feel at the moment of transition, we're going to find out of the things that we can't see on this level. And some of us can see because we've ascended closer to a spiritual existence and we see beyond the physical. So what I just said sounds like quackery. I think Scurv going crazy, man. He in front of that computer screen. It's frying his brains up right now. You know? Let me see here. I'm seeing some juicy comments. And let me just see here. Oh, I said juicy comments, juicy fruit. There are millions in prison too. By the time they get back, they get with men. The sons they abandon and become gay too, I guess. Okay, it seems like, let me see here now. All I know is a black man will beat a black woman. Either way, a sack of bricks and clap and celebrate for a tranny. See, you need more exposure, juicy fruit. I'm sorry, I have to say that. It's evident that you don't see the overall, right? I'm saying that. I'm not arguing with you, but we're having a discussion here. So have I ever beaten a black woman? Have I ever celebrated a tranny? I admit in my younger days, you know, y'all know, I was into athletics and bodybuilding and all of that stuff. For those who don't know, you know, flash my old fuzzy picture again so you can see. Right? That's me a long time ago. I couldn't hit the barbershop. Didn't have enough time. 1982. Right? So I was too busy in a discipline and I was raised a certain way where I did not, I had no time for foolishness and low vibrational thing. I love my mother. I love my father. They taught me the right way. They taught me, I adore black women. I love black women. I love them. I'm saying that in a righteous sense. And even when the physical activities were going on because of the hormones being high and whatever, I still, even if I happened to be in retrospect in a one-night stand, it was a very romantic, loving thing. You all know I like to talk. We're going to talk. We're going to relate. We're going to connect. The sexual parts were just, that was one small part of the whole thing. Even when I used to write erotica, I'm coming back to that on different platforms. It wasn't just about this. It was emotional, it was mental, it was the fears, there's too much to me mentally to just be on some, how am I going to pick up my fist? I have knocked people out with my fists. I don't talk about all that stuff. Why am I going to do that to a woman? Now, if you come at me with a knife or a gun and you're a woman, I say, back up. And you come in to stab me, I'm not going to say, it's a woman, so I can let us. No, I'm knocking you out too. Yes, I will be that person in that situation. I don't want to be that. But it's not out of hate. It's because I'm defending myself. I don't want my kids crying because I'm gone. My wife crying because I'm gone. Oh, he just defended himself. No. But it seemed like, but earlier you said something about your white man who loves you so much, and then you come say something bad about the black man. You have not been exposed to the whole range of situations. You've had certain situations that make you think this way, but not all of us are this way. There are a lot of good black men out here. There are a lot of available black men out here. Your choice is your choice. I'm not knocking you for being with a white man. That's your business, right? That's what you like. I don't know you that way. All I'm saying is that there's enough of us out here, and I do know there's so many good black women out here. But for men who have their minds tainted by the media and the movies and the TV and society, look, there's a movie you all need to see. Fat Girls with Monique in it, back from 2006. What a trailblazer of a movie. How the African man preferred the fuller figured, not that Caucasian looking black woman, which is nothing wrong. A woman didn't make herself. I've dated many women who are very light skinned, but they were very much black in their soul. And my mother, she was a little lighter than me. My father was the one who was a darker complexion, but I love black women. If I have a preference, it'll be someone who's a little on the darker side. It's just what it is. But I love them all, in the essence of them all. So for one to say this about black men and not see that there are some who have the God force in them, who live a certain way, who are looking to please their wife and not, don't believe the media. Don't believe it. Don't believe that. Those are lies. Yeah, it doesn't matter what age you are. I'm 62. I think that's kind of closer in age than, say, now you're 13 years difference to me, right? When I was 12, you were 25. So, of course, you have a little more life experience. But as we get older, them ages get closer together. Because when you're 95, I'm 82. Ain't much difference at that point. And it's not the age, it's the experience and how we deal with them, because we have a lot of people, right? We have a lot of people who don't learn. They don't grow. They're stuck. So if that's your world, enjoy it. I'm not mad at you. I happen to be exposed to a whole lot from single digit ages. My walk may have been, I'm quite sure, a lot different. It's Traveling Dude says, it's just strange seeing a black woman carry a non-black child with a non-black man. Wow, I'd love for some of y'all to call on in. This would be a wonderful discussion to hear. I'm gonna drop the link again, just whoever wants to come in, here we go. But again, we have to live and let live, so I have no time to, fuss about somebody's choices. If it fits, that's wonderful.
You're happy, you're happy.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, brother.
No, I'm saying if they're happy, they're happy. You're content. And you found, I'm not against it. I'm not against mixing. If you love who you love, I have them in my family. People are mixed. So, but my preference is a black woman,
Mm-hmm.
So if you love who you love, just be ready for your experience. You might experience something. So don't be bewildered by like, oh my God, I didn't know. Just, you signed up for it. So you got to deal with it.
Right. We have someone here who, I'm not going to get into the religious psychobabble, because deep down, the funny part about it is when you know who you are and you have somebody who is not used to seeing somebody like that and speaks so strong, it rattles people. And here they go throwing little whatever, you know? I'm not going to go buy a book that has been severely edited and twisted around to subdue and enslave a people. The bottom line, no matter where you come from, the crazy thing about it is if you don't accept the narrative of black is bad and white is better, they got a problem with you as they apply their bleaching cream on their face. They don't like that. You know, you go to South America, you go here in Africa, you're in America. I'm not just speaking about specific bleaching cream. I'm saying that many people are trying to unblack themselves. They may have a grandmother that's black, but they don't want them to come to the cookout. They may know something about their lineage, but because they want to ascend, which is not ascending, but they want to be accepted. They can't like you if you love yourself. They can't like you if you say you love your black chocolate woman. Come on now. They can't accept that. Let me see if I can find a photo as I run my mouth. That would take too long. I'll get some things lined up. So you change the whole narrative now. They're looking at you like, I've got to say something to knock you down. I got to say something to make you doubt yourself. No, I know who I am. I know who I am. So in order to make me feel inferior, some will come with the Bible. The biggest set of ankle bracelets and belly chains and handcuffs that you can, you know, shake a stick at. It's so diluted, you know. And the thing, that's what it is, you know. Well, look, juicy fruit. Well, we getting all these people coming to subtly attack. But Michael Jackson did it, and you loved him.
He was a superstar. That's why.
Yeah, well, see, look, I understand what made Michael Jackson the way he is, and he is my brother. And I'll always love him, even if he wasn't the Michael Jackson or not. This is what I'm trying to say. The unconditional love that we need for each other to understand why they are the way they are and look past those things despite the idiosyncrasies and the hangups they may have, whether he had the skin condition or whether he bleached himself. Like I said, we all have the noise around us, and a lot of us don't want to really dissect that. And so when a person is clear of all of the things the world can throw on you, it makes you feel uncomfortable because I'm comfortable in my own skin.
Do you really think he had vitiligo?
I'm split on that one. I'm still trying to figure it out. Every time I look at the old interviews and I try when he says something or whatever, but if he didn't have it, maybe I'm wrong for saying this, but if he didn't have it, maybe a part of him didn't mind having it. But he never denied being black. You know what I mean? He never denied being black. He never denied that part of him. And before he passed, even years before he passed, when he was breaking down how the music industry is, he didn't hold back. And that's why they had to get rid of him. He's too powerful.
I like the fact that he was exposing the secrets. He was telling about that guy. I forgot his name. He was one of the CEOs of Sony, but he was exposing that dude like crazy.
His name was
Tony something. Tony, not Tony.
There's somebody. Those names.
It's Tony something.
Industry, but that's what it is. Yeah. He look.
Tony Mottola.
Yeah, Tony Mottola. Yeah, I was playing. I don't know if you remember the old. Well, I think I'm a little older than you, right? Dr. Buzz's original Savannah band, and they have a song called "Cherchez la Femme." Right. I was 13 years old when that album came out. I must have went through 3 albums playing it on the wax. Every song I memorized. I just love that music, and I used to draw my pictures and stuff. And you know, I'm an artist when I'm young. And then one it starts out, Tommy Mottola lives on the road. He lost his lady 2 months
I remember
ago.
that song.
Yeah, that's that.
I know. I remember that song because Wu-Tang, they sampled that song. I never heard the original song.
Right. Well, that's it. Dr. Buzz's original Savannah band, Cherchez la Femme. Just put in Dr. Buzz's original Savannah band. And for the sake of it, I'll just find it here because I know. And I'll drop the link in there because I can't play it. Okay. It might play for a second here. No. Okay, I'm just going to take the link. This is a short version, but try to find, copy link address. Try to find the album. They made 3 albums. That was the first album, right? And Oh, this might not play. This is like too long of a link. That's that jacked up link. I think that's not going to play. I'm not going to open it up though. But it's Dr. Buzzard's original Savannah Band. And I think it's spelled this way. That's it right there. So you can Google that, versions of it. It will come through. You know. Yeah. But again, the noise. See, I'm not even seeing all of the comments. I'm talking and I got everything in front of me. So don't think I'm ignoring or I'm scared to comment on anything. If anything, if you want to say something, come on in. And okay, I put the other link. I got to get this other one out. Come on in and speak your mind. I have no problem with that. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to get rid of you. Hope Rice in the house. The only Rice I F's with. Yes, indeed. I've been so busy, so I haven't answered our sister in the last few days. I know she might have sent a message. I'm going to send her something tonight. Yeah. It's crunch time for me this last couple days. But there's a link if you want to come on in and have something to say. No problem. Wise man, you can stay here with me. No problem. We're in a good conversation. That's the way I like to do it. I like to really cover a topic and then interact with the chat room. And if anybody wants to come in, we can come in. And,
we just, sorry to cut you off. Do we just solely talk about only the topic, or we can also bring in other topics as well? How do you like to moderate this?
Well, I like to keep it on the topic and go around it, come back to it. Mm-hmm. But if there's a topic you want to speak about, I'll set it up as that topic and we can buzz around that. Because
and give us like the boundaries. Like, hey, let's not talk about that. Let's it's not really appropriate. I don't mind that. Knowing the boundaries.
Okay. And I'll do that as I set up from now on. We have Michelle coming in. Michelle N.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. Happy Sunday afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you. And wait a second. How you know it's Sunday afternoon? Oh, why I said that is that I'm in Ghana, so I'm more in the afternoon than probably you're in the East Coast, or you're in America, or are you in?
I'm in the United States. Yes, I'm in the East Coast. I'm in Washington, D.C.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm an East
Coast. So if you're in Ghana, it should be what, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock over there?
It's 4:38.
Okay, so you're early evening.
Yeah. But it's still late afternoon, so we're good.
Okay. Thank you for this insightful topic.
Well, you're welcome.
My concern is, I think, with the Snow Bunny crisis, I was watching, there used to be a television show years ago. They canceled it. And it's called The Underground. It was on TV. They only did 2 seasons. And what they did in that show, and I used to watch the series, they took a child. I'm not going to go into the background. They took a child, right? When he was young, the sister had run away, so he had no family left. So the mistress of the house took this young boy into the big house, for the lack of a better word, and started treating him well, treating him above the other slaves. He started feeling better, had nicer things, felt good. So when the sister came back to take him take him and run away, because she had to run away first and then come back for him, he didn't want to go because he was comfortable. He didn't see the reason why he needs to run away. And the reason why I share that with you, because I'm noticing especially with my cousins and other family members, especially the boys, when they're athletic, they're able to go to these nice schools, they're treated well, they're given opportunities they never had. And a lot of the mothers go ahead and because they're single families, or, family systems are not as strong. I'm not trying to knock our people, but it is what it is in certain situations.
Understood.
So when Jaquan, I'm just using that name, comes back, he's got a white girl. And we're kind of perplexed because, especially we're the ones sacrificing taking you to practice. We're the ones putting money together so you can have resources so you can take care. But he didn't see the value of bringing home a Black girl to come back to the community. And say, I'm going to set my life with her, so she can have opportunities that other young ladies or we didn't have. And that's why we sacrificed to put you there, so you can go to that TWA school and have that opportunity. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Understood completely. And it lots of times, if it's not verbalized, I'm not saying you didn't verbalize it, but lots of times in those situations, the subsequent generations don't see how far back you came from, right? That they don't see what you had to go through and the trajectory that you would like to have for them and the community. And the younger ones who don't understand the struggle, they may let the wind blow and anything happen now. You know, we've got to be made to understand it's a continuum that we have to make the younger folks, and as they come up, we have first dibs on their subconscious and conscious mind. So we've got to let them know, hey, like my father let me know. He didn't tell me nothing bad. My father and my mother were together, but my father had his own business. He was independent. And in the summertime when school was out, or on the weekends, not that my parents were separated, but I had a choice to go with him or her. She sung opera, she performed, she did different things. She taught in colleges. So I had a rich upbringing, and I knew my trajectory and my pre-trajectory from before. Now, my father being a man, I'm not trying to make this about me. I'm just explaining this because this is dead on point. He let me know. He showed me the crack, well, the heroin, the crack wasn't out like that, where they shot heroin, the number spots, the whorehouse, not just decadent stuff. My mother more showed me the culture stuff, but he showed me the things that he can hold my hand and say, hey, this is what's happening here. This is what you don't want. This is the end result of this. But he didn't want me to have any curiosity. And it let me know, you're my son. We're not going to want anything from you. If you want to do anything for us, fine. But we depend on you when we're gone to understand where you come from, what your root is. Continue on. You see? So this is why I have such a strong sense to my past, to my upbringing, because some children didn't have that. Now, in this case, he was afforded everything good, but maybe he didn't connect, and it may not have been anyone's fault. Because at the same token, I have a brother who you can say is a half brother, but he's my brother. He's out there on drugs now. He's been on drugs since daggone Martin Luther King Jr. was alive. He's 11 years older than me. Brilliant, smart. But sometimes we can have everything right and not take on all the attributes needed that our forefathers or our parents or the ones who raised us would have liked for us to, understand. And then maybe still he'll turn around and bring home that sister eventually. I have a cousin, black as can be. His mother, my aunt, my father's sister, helped him to really be an exemplary individual, but he was screwed up in the head because many places in the Caribbean and a lot of old school Caribbean people, my father was born in 1916. I think she was born in 1924, a couple of years later, and they were very privileged. They had businesses in Jamaica at the time. They had drivers to drive them to school and all of this stuff, and then the business crashed and it did something to her psyche. But she had a hang up about her dark skin, and my cousin came out dark. So he had a thing about himself. So he excelled. He became a police captain in one of the police departments in New York City. I believe Metro North one time, way back, about 20-something years before that. So all he dealt with was white girls in his mind because that was a trophy and he didn't like who he was. And meanwhile, I may have had a lighter complexion, but what my father and mother exposed me to, I'm black to the bone. We're not talking black in the skin because different skin tones. I understand that. and who really is black, because look at the background behind my letters, that's black. And I've seen people like that. We're talking about the soul. We're talking about the essence, that thing that's attacked, a melanated soul. And that's what you would like for him. And it's like a little disappointment. But see, remember, the world attacks you from young and tries to force something on you to desire something that may not be made for you.
Mm-hmm.
And see, we have some people who are with the other and they still mad.
Yes.
Because they still focusing on, you have a woman who's with a white man, but she's still focused on the black. And the black man says, and a black man that. You know what that tells me? You want a black man. I ain't dumb.
That's true.
We don't talk about these things. It's the same as if a white woman was with a black man, talk about the white man is, the white man. Well, you still want him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad at you.
It's like Candace Owens.
There you go.
Oh, it's talking about black people. You with a white man. I thought you're happy. You're happy. Why are you talking about us? Leave us alone.
And
live in your white world.
I know how her reputation has been, and she's trying to remake herself over, but she has been dropping truth bombs on a lot of other topics. So I'll extract that part of her, right? Because my thing now, at this particular chronological age, my blade is so sharp to cut through life. The things I've been through before that gave me resistance, I chiseled away and made it sharp. So I cut through that. Where once before I would argue and debate and no, it's just, and try to convince, no, live and let live. But I know what I need to do to get through this life. So that's why it's easier for me. I'm just as cool as can be. I'm where I want to be. I do what I want. I live life the way, and I see things I can break it down. And maybe sometimes I need more information to be able to break it down. But, you know, I'm getting like that old grandmother on the front porch who can just look at somebody and see, okay, he ain't no good. I ain't going to try to convince you. You'll find out for yourself. But it's interesting. Again, the noise in our heads that block us out from seeing the reality of what's going on around us and from what's going on the inside. I'm into the inside thing now, right? Me and Mr. Scurv up here, we in extreme isolation. And I've cleansed off so many things that I thought I was done with, things that I had to face. And this is why so many of us, we work so hard, we work so much, we keep up with the entertainment and we're going out because we don't want to sit still sometime to hear what's going on the inside, because we're afraid of that. That makes us scared of what we really are on the inside, and we don't want to face it. So we keep noise around us. And this is the best place for me to be, not just because it's the place of my actual lineage, just to be quiet, free not only from the noise out there, but free from the noise on the inside, forcing me to see who I really am so I can travel lighter every single day. I always make the joke. I walk around here sometimes, I forget to put clothes on. I'm way up, big walls around everything. I'm walking around with little Crocs on. I'm like, man, I'm naked. The sun knows me real good. But we got to know ourselves on top of that. Strip away all this stuff. It's passing through and it won't matter someday. Someday soon. When you go out in the wild, you look at the trees, look at the mountains. Them trees and mountains were there before your great grandfather was around, or grandmother was around. They'll be there after, unless we chop them down. I'm not going to waste time on somebody else's hang-ups or the scabs that they've attained in life. You know, you get a little cut, you get a little scab, you get a little scar, right? But those are the things that should make us grow. The scabs and the scars, we cover it up now. All we doing is covering stuff up, peeking through our little mask, trying to see. Come on, talk to me. I'm sorry. I talk a lot. I know I do. Let me hear from you, Michelle and Wise Man.
Yeah, I think, you made a good point in terms of how are you, understanding life and understanding the trajectory of us as a people. Where are we going? What direction are we going? Again, we don't have because we're not in our, they took us out of our clan type of system, our larger clan system. And now we integrated to this global system and we have to survive. And one of the ways that we have to survive is letting a part of us go, a part of our identity go, a part of our identity and culture. You and I, what are we speaking to each other? We're speaking English, not a ethnic tongue with each other.
Right.
Why is that so? I mean, it could go deeper and deeper.
Right. Excellent.
In order to use this internet, you got to know how to speak English.
That's right.
Or a European language.
Isn't that something that's deep? Let me just address this wonderful comment here by Scott himself. He says the Black Supremacy Podcast. Now, how would you rather we have it, right? This is the Black Supremacy Podcast, right? So if I was sitting here talking, you haven't heard me say anything about, man, them black BITCH and number the hoes, man. I was messed up last night, man. I got so high. Would you rather me speak like that? And what would you call that? But because we're speaking on a level so much higher than the stereotypes that are put out by your people in the media that approve it, because I know lots of people in the media, large and small, and the narrative is if you put out a movie, you better have the NIGGER word in there so many times. So we're not gonna, I know this for a fact. I speak with people every single day who are in the media that help me. They're helping me to upgrade this platform. So if we're speaking something on a higher level of truth, or really we can say our truth from our perspective, then it's the Black Supremacy Podcast. Well, you know what? That's a term that I accept. We are supreme. We don't know it. And we need to up our game to become supreme versions of ourselves. So I might use that as a catchphrase on it. And I don't feel guilty about it. I've been
We gotta be careful. We gotta be careful with people like him because I don't know why he's saying like that. The Black Supremacy Podcast. He's trying to get us in trouble.
Well, no, I mean, really, if you go through my content, it's not going to, my history of my life. It's just to really, what am I supposed to do? Apologize for loving myself? Apologize for trying to make a better version of, and create communities again and keep our sisters, you're not complaining about the degradation that goes on in the media, but no, he has to call and say that. And I know how they can say, and I said, yes, I am that. And I explained it. So anybody who doesn't understand it, so be it. That doesn't bother me.
They're really the fear of the Black planet.
Say it again?
Fear of the Black planet.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That shows you this is really planned. Like
he's 9% of the population.
Yeah, if not less than that.
There was a racist guy who had some smart stuff to say about me, about how inferior Black people are and how this and this and that. And I'm going to tell it to you the way I said it. Excuse my French. I said, you just scared because the world is a coloring book and my dick is a crayon. Excuse my French.
Yeah, well, he had to be direct. He was coming out with you. You got to come back.
Yeah. And I had, look, we're boxing. We're following the rules. We're following the rules, right? And you hit me low. I don't care what the referee says. I'm hitting you back low. We're going to even this thing out. We can speak peacefully. Right? So traveling dude, you're a white man. You understand what I said. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. All I'm saying is that was a psych job what that man said. The Black Supremacy Podcast. Would he rather me do what a lot of creators do for hits? There's a lot of gullible people that see me online and think, oh, I want to come on your show and to talk. And I can, look, there's a lot of things I could be doing online. There's a lot of things I could be doing with my equipment and different things. People come to me all the time on the phone, whatever. Hey, man, I'm shooting this porn site, whatever. Could you come? Could you do whatever? Nah, I'm not doing that. My name? I'm not doing that. That's against what if you making money that way and you want to fool us. These sisters got some wonderful bodies out here and they want money. And they come to me. I want to do OnlyFans. What? Nah, I can't do that. Let's do something a little better than that. All of that is easy to do. But I'm the Black Supremacy Podcast.
And I appreciate you holding out on those type of activities because I know we all press, people are pressed for money these days. And human trafficking, I mean, that's real out here. Really real, really real. And I appreciate you being upstanding and hold out. But I know you'll be blessed eventually.
Yeah. And I do this because this is the way I was raised. This is another thing. You know, I grew up hearing decent conversations, and it wasn't anti anything, but we addressed the issues. I love those conversations every single day. I'm a little kid, 4 or 5 years old, 3 years old, playing a little car in my own world, but I'm hearing snippets of these conversations. And my parents were decent, but they understood, and they raised me to know certain things. My aunt, my mother's aunt, that's would be my grand aunt, Kathleen Evelyn Deloach. She was an educator. She was a musician from Columbus, Ohio. I was doing a podcast on Blog Talk Radio back in 2012, 2011, and one of my grand aunt's students, who was much older than me because my grand aunt passed away, but she was way older. It's like a grandmother. She's the one who raised my mother. The one who called in was a student of my grand aunt. And if you saw my grand aunt, you know, who's that white lady? Come on now. My mother's father, his father was white. My mother's mother, her mother was white. Can't you tell? My father, dark as can be. My great, whatever, how many greats? Archibald Sperling is his name. Come on now. A white man from Scotland. Colin Powell is my direct cousin.
Amazing.
I'm going to prove it, not because I have it on my site, but I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pull it up so y'all can see. I don't even say much these things. There's a lot more connection of different things that would blow your mind that I keep quiet about. I don't even say all this stuff. This white man did my genealogy for me. Here it is. I'm going to drop the link in there. I might even pull it up. Let me zoom down this page a little more. I think I had it zoomed. Oh, yes, at 200%. Let me bring it down to 150. I might even screen share it. I'm going to drop the link, but I'm going to screen share it, right? But Archibald Sperling, I think I'm jacking his name up because Sperling with a P, Sterling as it's spelled, Skirving, you know, they messed up a lot of names and they didn't have computers and spell check. You understand? So, okay, here it is. That's the link. And let me screen share. I got so much going on here. I don't know how it's going to look. These programs. Okay, share screen. I'm going to open this up.
I'm going to have to excuse myself, but I'm going to be watching. But thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. You're always welcome. Anytime I have a show, even if I don't put the link, I say, hey, Lance, I want to come on and talk. Or call me if you want to do a certain topic of show. I'm flexible that way.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Much love. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, now how in the heck? Okay, I think I have to do it this way. No, let's see. No, we're going to get it. We're going to get it. Give me a second, y'all. Okay. You have to be like a scholar to get this stuff done. All right. Okay. I'm going to share. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Do I put it this way? I'm going to go through all the options and let's see what pops up. I'm going to have to remove this. Number one. And come off of this. Remove from studio. Okay, here we go. I'll leave it like that. Let me boost up the size of the screen. I've done this before. I've shared this before. It's on my website. Which on my website, I'm putting everything to the Lancescurv X. So I'm not posting there as much. I'm really transferring a lot of the content. I'm gonna make this bigger so we can see. Let's see how that looks. Okay, good. All right. The Scurvin family genealogy. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. Okay, this is just too long. All right. This was October 15th, 2014. I gave props to the guy who did it for me. We showed a map of Jamaica. We go back to 1784. Matthew Campbell Skirving Sterling. You see how they had them both that way? Because they got it both jacked up. And he basically was a guy from Scotland who came to Jamaica because of the lucrative slave trade. And everybody that was married coming on up, this guy did a wonderful job. Look at this. William Skirvin, 1817, Mount Pleasant, St. Thomas in the east side of Jamaica. Robert Skirvin, Matthew Lambert Skirvin, who they married to, Trafalgar, St. Anne, every single. So when people, I know who I am. And my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother, who Matthew Skirvin or Skirving or Sterling, because they got it all twisted up, is from Ghana. Come on now. And my father knew that. He didn't know the exact details like this now, but the oral history. Look at this. Coming all the way. Edward Skirvin, Alexander Skirvin. You know, look at that. Adam Skirvin, born around 1845, St. Anne's, Jamaica, where my father's from. Right? Passed away April 19th, which is 2 days. That's so many days from now. 1935 in Philadelphia, Brownstown. That's why when I went down to Brownstown for the first time in my life, I just cried. I felt it, right? Okay, let me see what else. Let's come on down. We have some photos. Julia Skirvin, 1866, married Charles Ware, 1887. All of that. Any Skirvin or Sterling or McCoy. McCoy was my grandmother's name, right? And every McCoy in Jamaica was related. They're family. But her sister is the one that had a daughter or whatever that married Colin Powell. I think he had more than one wife, but they were the ones that, okay, her sister moved to Washington Heights in Manhattan, and that's where I was born. But we didn't know that. And that's how they had Colin Powell, right? I'm going to come down even more. See, look at all this, man. Look at all this information. I haven't even memorized half of it, just the recent part. All right, let's go on down some more. This is all Skirvin stuff. This is all my family. Okay, look there. Okay, Hubert Skirvin, right? Inez Skirvin. But okay, here, Muriel McCoy. That's my grandmother, right? Then you have Lance Seymour Skirvin, November 5th, 1916, Orange Hill, Brownstown, St. Anne, Jamaica. Sylvie Adassa Skirvin, that's my aunt, right? And there's more coming. But let's go down more. I believe I have the pictures that can explain it. Okay, there's my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Archibald Skirving. It's spelled Skirving. Look, I'm on social media like crazy. Homeboy been going for centuries, and he has a Wikipedia page. He's a portrait artist, one of the greatest portrait artists around. Scottish man. His son came to Jamaica because of the lucrative slave trade. Just to throw some stuff out there. And homeboy got documentation, and he said, well, at first we thought you were the Dr. William Skirvin's direct descendant. No, after grouping all these families together, his brother, Matthew Campbell Skirving, your ancestor and his descendants settled in St. Anne's Parish, Jamaica. That's where my father was born. They stayed there for a while. This explains it all. I'm not going to go through everything. I believe this is my aunt's birth certificate. Now here we have Lenny Godet. That's the guy that's the guy who did my genealogy. Then we'll get back on the topic. Lancescurv. Colin Powell's father, Luther Theophilus Powell, is from Top Hill, St. Elizabeth. Luther married his mother, Maud Ariel McCoy, on the 28th of December, 1929, at St. Philip's Church, New York, daughter of Edward Charles McCoy and Alice Cote. Colin Powell's grandparents were Aubrey Spencer Powell and Rosina Bromfield. In the 1880s, people did not move around as much as people do today. They did not have the means or luxury. They married within their own community, right? Okay, they got into more details, okay? Like he said here, there are no other McCoy families. We will keep searching to find the exact connection. Anyway, you have another Scottish family line, not unusual in Jamaica. And see, okay. Forget to say that Maud Ariel McCoy is Colin Powell's grandmother. She left Jamaica and moved in with Colin Powell's parents and died in New York on the 3rd of June, 1984. And that's how we tied everything together. I gave him my information in detail. He came back, right? Okay, here he ties it in with the other McCoy's sister. We don't know which one was married on that side, but it's definitely the sister of my grandmother making us cousins. And he gave documented proof. I don't know how the heck he knew how to do all of this, but he gave, look, death certificates, different things, and tying us all in. Look at all this, man. That was a gift to have this. And the references and everything on my bloodline going back to even before in Scotland, which that's the Caucasian side of things. And we have multiple branches we can go up on, right? And that's the one. But what the dead stop was that the portrait artist's son, who came to Jamaica because of the slave trade, ended up marrying one of his so-called enslaved and treated her well. But we didn't have a name for her, and she's from Ghana. Okay, so, you know, it's life is interesting, and it is what it is. If there's something unique, Dawn, I'm just catching this comment here. I met Colin Powell before. My daughter's singing group called the Mini Singers sang for him. It's wonderful. You see, 6 degrees of separation. We don't know how we're connected. We don't know. So much has been lost. You know, I'm gonna bring this one off of here and just bring the screen back. But it's the truth. You know, that's something I've always known. So I can't deny facts and the past. And I understand, but I'm a black man, right? If I rob a bank, what are they going to say? Well, he's biracial. And like I said, that biracial category, I understand, but that's let it go back to mulatto, because when you have one drop of black blood, and because of those who are fearful, they want to make a new category to deny who we are. They change it around. But then again, like I said, you have traveling dude who's a proud white man. I have no problem with that. Again, like I said, as long as you're not trying to do something to me because of who I am. Because you know what? None of us made ourselves. We came into this thing, right? So let's face it. Face the toxicity in this world around it. Acknowledge it. Cleanse ourselves. And try to live the best life that we can. But we have to know, just like when you go over a friend's house, he got 2-3 big dogs in the backyard. And you got to go back there and get something that's dark. You got to know how not to step in the doo-doo in this world. And if you do, when you walk inside, your shoes are going to smell like shit. Sorry to say it that way. You know, somebody stepped in something. Oh, you see all this stuff. Oh man, it's me. You going through the grass, you know what, trying to get the water hose on it. It is what it is, you know? But does anybody want to come on in? We do this every show. Anybody else want to come on in? Anything you want to say, wise man? And give me a topic that you want me to talk about. Something timely.
Yeah, I do definitely talk about. Now, besides the snow bunnies, people are going to be people. Like I said before, I think it's blowing out of proportion. Most black men and black women are mostly together. Interracial dating, it's not, I want to say rare, but it's not as often as people think. But it happens. Hey, if you're happy with who you're happy with, good. I want to talk about, a very controversial figure, Dr. Umar Johnson. Now, my thing is this. I have a question for you about this. Because people have been asking about where's the school, what's going on with the school. It's taking forever to build this school. And I know he's about independence. I know he's about being an independent man. I respect that. But, when I was contributing to him, I gave him like around $500. When I was back then in 2013, 2014? No. It was, 2014, 2015, I was donating. And up to like 2017, I stopped donating. But he, on GoFundMe, he raised around $700,000. Now, I was talking to another brother on here. I'm not going to mention his name because I want to respect everybody. But, he was talking about he want to go to Africa and build this nation and whatever. And I said, yeah, why didn't Umar Johnson go to Africa with that $700,000, go to like Ghana, Kenya, South Africa where the infrastructure is better set up and go build a school out there. You could have got like you could have got a lot of property. You could build like 5 FDMG academies. So why didn't you go to Africa and build all that stuff?
Okay. I mean, I can't answer for him, but my thing is, you know, we're in the system. Look, I'm in Africa. I'm in Ghana right now. What you're looking at is me inside my house, and you know what I mean? I'm in Africa, right? I'm gonna start doing some podcasts and some shows on the balconies. I did 1 or 2 like that before, so you can see the mountains behind me. Some people think this is a fake background. I don't think so, right? But I'm still in the system. I'm retired, right? So that means that funds come to me from all that I've worked for. I'm still in the system. I do depend on that. I'm independent to a point. I know where my blip is on the radar screen. Like the mailman who got bitten in the ankle by the dog now has just 2 toes in his mouth. I'm a little more. I'm going to be earning and doing different things. The reason why I say all of this is because you got to be strategic. If you're there, instead of saying, my opinion, I'm going to build totally from the ground up or just buy this place or whatever have you, start small, man. Start small. Not stay small, but start small. Rent a little smaller place. Rent it out. The donations come in, start something else, or see if you can take over that place and expand it. All these years, look, let's just say it this way. I'm not putting them down. I got a couple of issues with them that I will not air publicly. But if I can take a small little pension and build this place, and almost done with it because we're doing a little bit at a time, just the icing on the cake. Shoot, do you know what I could do with $700,000 lump sum or over time, or the millions over time? And I've done all of this without asking. And there have been many people who have donated to me on this platform. I would never turn my back and say it never happened. But the majority I had to work for all these years. And it wasn't a thing about hit the cash up, hit the cash up, hit the. Come on. I do this because I like doing it. Go back 10 years, I was doing it. Go back 10 years before that, I was doing it a different way. I've been here. Right? So take your time. You don't just come out of your mother's womb running. There's no child that was 1 year old that was in the Olympics. Oh, Olympic gold medalist. No, you got to crawl before you walk. Take your time. But I think that sometimes ego can get in the way. I'll just say it that way. And you know, look, life can be like so quick. I'm glad to be here right now, this day, with those who are in the chat room, whether they agree with me or not. I'm happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here. If I can make a change from something I know, and many have shared things with me that they know that made me learn some profound, like I said, my friend who taught me things about myself that I told her from way back in childhood all the way up. And she said, you know, the reason why you're this way is because of this and this and that. You see what I mean? The reason why. See, let me just grab my little, at the head Commissioner Gordon on Batman. Okay, let me see something here. Okay. I don't know if I could actually, I'm speaking to someone specifically. I don't know if I can actually show this. Let me check this up and see if I can do that. If I can, I will. Okay, they said remix. Okay. Let me go and see if I can play another clip. There's a clip being suggested to play. And I don't know if I could play the whole thing. This is a 31-minute show. And I think I can, because I think this channel that I'm looking at pretty much allows you to do so. So let's go there. But I even forgot the point of what I was saying. Okay. Let me see. This is the same one. Okay. Just bear with me, family. Okay. Let me see. Can this be downloaded? I prefer to download it instead of, okay, yeah. Okay, let me see how it's downloaded. If it's downloaded to my computer, I prefer that. It'll play better. No, it's not. Let me do this as a share. Actually, share screen. Okay, we're almost there. Give me a moment, family. Share. Okay. Okay, let's play this. Let's play this. I got so many screens open. I got to knock some of these off. Thank you so much, my sister, for this clip. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I might have to scroll through some of it, but let's play it now.
Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. We begin today's show with one of Hollywood's most celebrated filmmakers, Ryan Coogler. Although just 38 years old, Coogler has made a series of acclaimed hits, from Creed to the Marvel Black Panther films. He also co-produced the Fred Hampton biopic Judas and the Black Messiah. Born in Oakland, California, Ryan Coogler's first film was the Sundance and Cannes Award-winning Fruitvale Station from 2013, about the killing of Oscar Grant on the BART train platform. Ryan Coogler's latest film is Sinners, made with his wife Zinzi Evans, a horror film set in 1932 in the Mississippi Delta during Jim Crow. The film has two stars. They're both actor Michael B. Jordan. He plays identical twin brothers, Smoke and Stack, who've just returned to their hometown after years living in Chicago working for the gangster Al Capone. The twins purchase an old sawmill from a racist white landowner to start a juke joint for the local Black community when they're confronted by a supernatural evil. Oh, and did I say it's a vampire film? This is the film's trailer. That's the new critically acclaimed vampire horror film Sinners. We go now to Oakland, California, where we're joined by the film's acclaimed director, writer, Ryan Coogler. His other feature films include Fruitvale Station, Creed, the record-breaking Black Panther, its sequel, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Ryan, it's great to have you back on Democracy Now! After we talked to you in Sundance more than a decade ago. This is an astounding film.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's good to see you as well. And I appreciate the kind words about it. We worked really hard on it. Me and my wife, Zinzi Coogler, our partner, Sevak Ohanian, and all of us at Proximity Media. This film meant everything to us. And it's been a joy to share it with the world and to have time.
Let me just say one thing with this. This is very, very important. You see, the work that Ryan Coogler is putting out is very important to tip the scales, not into anybody's favor, but to put out stuff that we can really relate to and we see ourselves certain ways. There's so many levels to this movie that can be considered very nutritious to us as Black people and as all people. And the entertainment, movie, music industry is slanted. It's not preparing our children for reality. It's not reporting life as it should be. To me, and I'm quite sure most people would agree, that it's morphing in an engineered way a perception that is not real amongst the masses who don't have a hands-on experience with other cultures, other races, and they walk around as though what they see on the wicked side of media, that it's gospel because they saw it on a movie. So this is why when we have independent artists who are not controlled or who have worked in the system, the entertainment system, right? It's something that we have to be very much aware of. And I'm going to play more of this clip. I may not be able to play the whole thing It's about 30 minutes, but I wanna maybe move it up a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, hey, brother Lance, yeah, be careful with that because you don't want to get a strike.
That's true. That's true.
I think you're supposed to keep it 20 seconds, man. Keep it 20 seconds.
Yeah,
You're doing 20-second increments.
I'm gonna go up to. That's why I kind of stopped it. Also, I'm gonna go up to the 8-minute mark and.
No, I think you're supposed to. I mean, is this your first time doing something like this?
No, I've done it before, and they did.
You never got any strikes, right? You never get like any type
not
of
like
alerts.
this, not like this. And if I did, it was to say, hey, if you get any revenue from this, it's going to have to go to the person who created it.
Right. Okay.
But when you look on YouTube now, you look at the bottom, and they have a designation that lets you know if you can share a clip, just the audio or just a video.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily always.
I was on another brother. Sorry, Coach. I was on another brother's channel. He was showing these political clips of stuff going in Africa, geopolitics, and his channel got shut down. Not shut down, but they turned it off. He had to turn it back on, but he just got an alert saying he got a strike on your channel for showing that video.
Right now, see, that's to split hairs. They give it multiple reasons for that. I'm not saying you can't do it. I don't do it in abundance. But once they show and share that, and let me see if I could find it, and I'll put it on the phone. I'll show it. But in certain cases, they do. Okay, they allow you to remix, and it's I'm gonna hit it. The sound, you can use the sound from this video. You can collab, create alongside this video side by side, green screen it, use a segment from this video. So that segment pretty much might be it. And then what I'll do
also remember to say, I think I remember what this guy was doing too. Before you even show the video, say this is for a copyright fair in use.
Right.
Say that. Look that up. This is for copyright. This is for education. Right. This is for educational use.
Area. I'll definitely do that. So I'm gonna play this part, another 2 minutes, and then I'll put the link down in the description area after the show's over and in the chat room. So later on, if you want to see the whole thing, but I'll do that little segment. Let me play this part.
Which through my research into the music, I learned more about the music industry and the music business as it was built out, and how much the concept of genre is related to racism. The classification of different types of music. You will have a song sung by a black artist, and a white artist can sing that same song in homage to that artist. And the industry would say, hey, this black person's song, we're going to put that in one category. Back then, it might have been called race records. And then this other white musician will invent a new genre to keep a separation here of these groups of people. Maybe we'll call that bluegrass, or we'll call it country, or we'll call it rock and roll. Even though it was the same song sung the same way, they were looking at the color of the skin of the person who was singing it and enforcing that apartheid, even through the artistic business model. So I wanted to make a film that was kind of raging against the concept of genre and making the audience constantly question it, even while they were watching it.
Okay, I'm going to let that play just from what you reminded me, because that is very much a real reality, right? But I'm going to drop this link in the chat room now, so it's always going to be there, and then later on, I'm not going to put it in the description now because I have to go into the guts of everything. And I'm going to drop this here now. So anybody wants to see this whole clip, which appears to be very excellent, and I do like that particular channel, we'll do it that way. So let me just bring it back. But I want to thank you to my dear sister who shared that with me. You saved the day. That's something that, we played a lot of clips earlier. We did go off topic after we covered the actual show. And I'm going to do more stuff like this. It's much easier to do it this way. I got the technology down, and I'm just very happy at the participation. And I don't ask anything. And all I'm going to ask is just to say, like this particular video, because it will help to get it out there more. And that's it. Anything else, it's of the kindness of your own heart. But I'm going to keep putting in the work and doing what we have to do, because this is something that I love doing, and I love my people, and I love order. I love clarification. I love understanding. I love deep conversations. Like I said, I grew up on, and that's at my root. And there's nothing like having the hands-on experience, speaking to each other when different people, let me see who this is. Okay. All right. And it's always when I'm doing a show, this particular person here. Let me see if it is. And okay, well, that's a personal matter. So does anybody else want to come on in and have something to say? I want to wrap this down. We're just short. But we will talk on that topic in depth. But just let me know when you'll be available, because I want you to be on. And it is relevant. It is timely. That's what I like to do. I like to do the relevant, timely topics and stuff, you know? So that's Brother Lance. I appreciate you calling in. And my sister who called in earlier from the Washington, D.C. area, you're all welcome. And let's get down to some real conversations and take it to the limit and pass the limit. At least we can walk away with some understanding of how the world is, you know, because we had different upbringings, different variables, different things, that different types of trauma, different things that flavor our view toward the world. So if we can expand it through sensible conversation and not insulting and not just, you know, getting caught up in our mess, it's a beautiful thing, you know? Oh, yes, April, thank you for coming on in. Yes, thank you for being here. Beautiful avatar. And this is a new channel. The other channel was taken down February 22nd last year. So a lot of folks think, oh, you unsubscribed? There's no way I could do that. So we're still here rolling, and you know, just everything is beautiful. Yes, Love and Light, Giant Gain, Gifty Sine, Sweet D, April. Too many names to list. It's like a lot of people that pass through. So I saw all of you, and it's been good. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Muslim Street, and tomorrow with Neil Frazier. And that's going to be, what time is that going to be? That's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you know, he always brings it. And I will be doing something tomorrow night also, as always. But I want to thank you all. Anybody else have anything to say?
Yeah,
going once, going twice. Thank you, brother. We have Chrissy. Thank you. She was the first one. She hung in the whole show. Wow. I wish I had something I could just give away and say, hey, thanks. But that day is coming. Anyway, much love to you all. Take care. Lancescurv out on to the next one. And I'm going to attack something in the kitchen. And I had a felony, but if I ever did, it's because of what I do to the food that I see in a little while. Much love, y'all. Take care.
Actually, today I got to meet my friend Lance. Yes, I got to meet my friend Lance. This is my first time meeting him in person, and he's a very kind man, seriously. I do talk with him on phone, on WhatsApp, but I've never got to meet him. But today, he's just extraordinary. He's very, anything you want to know about life, anything you want to know about just human, anything you want to know about life, please. YouTube, Telegram, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media channels, you got to find him there. He's very inspiring. He's very positive. If you want anything positive about life, please subscribe to Lancescurv. And then every day you got to see different videos, different talks, different topics about life. See you.